Oh no!
What is
Why you gotta play that? That's the Winter Soldier soundtrack.
it? Is.
Oh shit!
Oh
Shit!
It's about to go down.
Oh no!
It's about to go down.
He's up top, right here on me.
Got him.
Okay, my shots were not hitting those.
Woo, baby! That's 2 bayonet kills that fight. You're back now. Right back here. Yep, see him. Dead. Good shot.
Good.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Hello, guys. Hello, hello! Brendan, I just got raided. I have 1,000 people watching me right now.
1,000?
Yeah, 1,200 viewers.
Oh my god.
Okay, just these 2 people inside.
That is quite significant.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh,
out
there
there.
he is.
Front door.
Where the... Oh no.
Oh, front door.
Oh, better! Alright,
Because of
we're
gay?
live.
Oh.
We're live
That's
for
the first thing I
Pathfinder
said.
2E, and
Good
we
number.
only...
Thank you, Austin.
Because gay. Yep. Live for
of gay?
Pathfinder 2E, where we have all but one person here and ready to play. We don't know where they're at, but we figured we'd get started at the very least with something.
Only 20 minutes past start time, so thanks for watching.
Yep.
All right. No, I think the biggest thing I thought was really cool about Pathfinder 2nd Edition is like you get to choose. You got to go through and pick your ancestry, your background, and your class, and that all kind of determines what starting ability scores and stuff that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Yep.
pretty cool. Is it the base thing? Yeah, the base part is ancestry, but you also get to pick a heritage.
Yeah, and we're
So, like,
using
there-
Path Builder to do all of it. So
Right.
pull
This
up
is
that.
pathbuilder2e.com.
We have no Hephaestus. R.I.P.
Yes. So if anyone's out there listening, Austin wants you to build a better site and call it Hephaestus.
No, a different Greek or a different Roman. Roman? Which Hephaestus?
Go ahead.
Come
Keep
on,
going.
bro.
I don't know. That was a
Keep
question.
going.
Is it Greek?
This
Uh-huh.
is Greek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roman.
See,
A
is
different
Roman.
Greek god.
Someone decided to help you out, but I was hoping we could get at least
There was
30 minutes of
no-
content out of that.
He's
There
the
was
only
no,
ugly Greek
like,
god.
There was no like rationing that out. Like, oh, maybe Greek because Hephaestus. Like that's a no. Like it was
You could have said, "Have I actually learned it in school?"
no. It doesn't
Because
matter.
School only
Irrelevant
cares
data.
about the school only cares about the Greek gods. It's the only other mythology that you ever talk about.
That's
in
the cool
entirety of
one.
Public school education. It's the only other one that we talk about in the entirety of public school education.
We talk
I
about Roman
I highly doubt. Really?
In relation
When?
to
to the Greeks
Greek
because they're
gods.
just mimics of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only time.
I was gonna say, we had a whole like 2-week thing on the Greek gods, and there was like a project where everybody had to dress up as a Greek god or goddess,
Oh wow.
and we had all that stuff.
sounds
Did
and
you have
fun as
lots of
shit.
Aphrodites?
And then everybody got one. Everybody in the classroom got one Greek god, so nobody was the same.
You only had one
So,
class.
like they got assigned.
How many
Well, I'm
kids?
sure that there
How many gods are there? Are there enough?
There's a literal shit ton of gods.
there's enough for 25 different people in one
Oh,
classroom.
wow,
that have
okay.
different.
I mean, you're probably thinking of just the Olympians, of which there are 12.
That's true.
But there's so many.
You
gods
guys
and
and your
goddesses.
Percy Jackson love. Brendan, what god were you? Pre-show banter. Wow. Wow. You don't
Now you're-
remember? That's the
Now
first
you're
thing
thinking
that
about
I've
it.
ever heard.
I don't even have a clue.
Brendan doesn't
I'd love
remember.
to go back. I'd love to go back to the spot and the stream where Brendan called what was it? Children people? 25 people? I don't think that's right. I don't
Maybe.
think children can be categorized in that,
Are they
in that
like
way yet.
3/5 of a people?
Maybe
That's
let's just join the
closer, I'd
stream.
say.
Let's-
Let's
Could we, like,
compromise.
Could we compromise on that?
There.
Yeah, I think we should.
We're
I
getting
think we come to an
closer.
agreement. We come to an agreement. Okay.
Actually, Nicholas, we're playing Pathfinder 2E. You guys are old school, so
Yeah.
you're playing like an old game. So we're just kind of like we're doing the newer version. So.
Austin said everything newer is better. So, we're just gonna take him to see a couple of movies. And
Like they're still
make sure
like
that
making new stuff.
really holds
It's like
up.
cooler. Like you're gonna reach a point where you're caught
Yeah.
up. No fun.
yeah. We're just gonna go ahead and watch the first 3 Star Wars movies and then the second 3 Star Wars movies. We're just gonna go ahead and side by side that the whole time and just be like,
You know, because of the era that I grew up in, I think I like the prequels better than
I
the
know.
original.
I like the prequels as well too. I like the prequels because there are some hella good lightsaber duels in the prequels.
That's true.
Agreed. The,
That's what
the
Dylan
prequels
liked the
have the
prequel
best
so much that he
lightsabers.
used to beat me up in his yard with a lightsaber.
I did.
Yeah.
I was very good
He
at it.
used to hand
Yeah,
me a
that-
lightsaber and be
that's
like,
why he
"Defend
did
yourself."
that. Uh-huh.
Austin, I think the other reason why you like the prequels is very similar to my reason,
Uh-huh.
is because of Clone Wars.
That's true. There's a lot more like
Mhm.
content nowadays set in that time period esque.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But I digress. We're using Path Builder. Yes.
Mhm.
So you were saying, Brendan, we pick an ancestry first, which, by the way, I know Josh and I were talking about it a little bit before stream. Are all ancestries open to use as far as UDMing goes? So if somebody wanted to be an android, they could be an android.
Correct.
Cool.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fun.
look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even see Android in there whenever I was looking.
Yeah, you
through.
got to go to the all
Okay.
section. They're under their rare.
Gotcha.
So there are some rare ones. Hell, we could be a dragon, I guess.
I would look.
Actually, that
okay,
says
so
third party. Yeah, don't avoid the
anything
third
that
party
says
ones.
third party, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we would have to talk about it.
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
know?
Actually,
party is
that's
just
the
like-
only third party one I see is dragon.
Yeah, it's not. There's not very many, but yeah, it's like
That's
that
literally
just
the only
means
one.
that the folks over at Kobold Games or whatever are just like you could probably be like a god at first level. Like it's probably fine.
Yeah, so I'm actually
But,
just
like,
here to
it's a
watch
spell
Sarah
that
rock
actually
Percy in the
does
background.
More damage the less levels you are. So
I'll
it
go
does
back
20
to it,
d6
yeah.
at first level, and then goes all the way down to 1d6 when you're 20th level.
Benjamin Button the shit.
That's
I'm
right.
full screening you right now, Brendan, because Nicholas wants to watch Sarah in the background. If
Okay.
you, yeah.
We'll just talk about her like she's not here.
Surprise
you're the
Pikachu
stealing
face.
agent.
That was fucking incredible.
No. Nicholas said he only wants to see Sarah. Percy, can you get down? He only wants to see Sarah.
No, he wants to watch Sarah. I'm actually just here to watch Sarah rock Percy in the background. That's what he said.
Okay. That's why he's here. Just to see you rock Percy around.
Baby time.
Baby time.
Exactly.
Which does not mean what I thought it meant. So
Yeah.
Listening
So,
audience.
after ancestry, should we go straight to heritage after that? Because it's not clear what you should do. I think I did heritage after ancestry and then chose a background in class.
Yeah, I accidentally went class, background, then ancestry. So I think I did this.
I think
Yeah,
you're
so the-
okay. I think the ancestry does impact what heritages you can have.
yes. So
Yeah.
like humans have a lot of like if you want to get to like half elf and half orc and stuff like that, like I think you have to be like a human or an elf or a dwarf, like you have to be one of the core
Yeah,
races.
they're like subclasses.
Yeah.
But like if you're a goblin, then you can be like a snow grubber goblin, or you can be like a mountain climber goblin. Like there's just different kinds of goblins. So like
That's cool.
it does funnel into what you want your specific concept to be. And there's not a right answer like when it comes to building characters, because like even in the book it's just like every player takes a different approach. Some people like want to pick like they know what they want to play like class wise first, and then you like pick an ancestry and a heritage based on that, so you get the bonuses that feed well into your class. Other people like want to pick a heritage and ancestry based on the story and like feed into that. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this story, because you guys are going to Absalom, which is like this island in the middle of the inner sea. It's like the largest city in the world, and so it's like a huge metropolis, so people of all shapes, colors, sizes,
Ancestries and
belief
heritage.
ancestries and heritage. Yeah, it's okay. We can use all ancestries, heritage, and classes. You know, people of those
Yeah.
groups can mingle here.
Very cool. So, do we want to walk through like those first steps with everyone and see what people like? I think.
If you guys want to, I mean, like those of you that have characters made, if you're not looking to change up those characters, you could talk about why you made the choices that you made, or we could start with somebody else. Whatever works.
Yeah. So
I'm playing the game master, so my first character will be a level 20 dragon.
Oh shit.
Oh
Nice.
God.
My
Oh
God.
no.
I can go ahead and start
Yeah.
and talk about mine.
Hell yeah.
So I went with the dwarf just because I do kind of like the dwarves, and so I got the idea of it, and I did find it kind of funny after I don't remember if it was Dylan or Dalton, but someone was asking about like, hey, is anyone planning on doing any like religious characters or anything? And I was like, nah, probably not. So then obviously my second choice of a character of class that I wouldn't normally go for is a fucking paladin. So that's fun. But I got the idea because Ashley watches from Dimension 20 the campaign of the Seven, and one of the ladies on there is a dwarf paladin of like a god of the forge type thing, and I saw that in Pathfinder that was like one of their deities is one of the forge. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Let's go with that. Um,
Oh
so
yeah,
yeah, kind of built that out.
very cool. So what heritage are you?
Heritage was. Come on, I had it
Because
pulled up.
you're a dwarf ancestry.
Yeah, I mean, like in
That's what-
first edition, it would probably be like the difference between like a mountain dwarf or like a hill dwarf or a hill deep
Heritage
dwarf.
is an anvil dwarf.
That's dope.
Spend your time
Descendant.
toiling away.
He is. You are a descendant of a famed crafter, and you have your own amazing talent. Other dwarves might consider this a blessing from your ancestors or from the Forge Father himself, depending on where you grew up, or himself, depending on where you grew up. Sorry, misreading
That's cool.
things. Uh, you become trained in crafting or another skill if you already are trained in crafting, and gain the specialty crafting skill feat, but you can pick 2 different specialties instead of 1.
Sick.
So yeah.
My guy is a human ancestry,
Okay.
which is cool. And honestly, I did it because it gives me the most heritage backgrounds. I know.
You know it's not cool when you say
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. Well,
It's
there's
like
just like
the coolest option, playing a human. In a
like
fantasy
it
game.
still like it still doesn't quite click. What's like I guess I don't know. It was weird. I didn't quite understand the difference between like ancestry and heritage. I get it a little bit more now, but I just know that I want it to be a Dampier, which is like a half vampire, and I knew that like that's you're a human to get to that. So yeah, I'm a scion. The C silent, right?
Scion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're a scion of a vampire, half living and half undead, gifted with uncanny charm and grace, a bloodless pallor, and elongated incisors. So that's pretty cool. The idea, yeah. I also have negative healing ability, which means I'm harmed by positive damage and healed by negative effects, as if I was undead. And then low light vision. And then there's some like ancestry feats and stuff like that. But we're not necessarily going over that yet. But yeah, the idea behind it is kind of going for like a Blade-esque character and watching some of the Blade movies, and that was kind of was on my mind. And I haven't got to play like a vampire class before, so that was why I chose a human Dampier.
Fuck yeah. Well, on the other end of the spectrum, I decided to go psychic monkey.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I love that that's the spectrum. Either vampire,
Vampire,
psychic
psychic
monkey.
monkey.
It's
Human
I'm a big
vampires,
human
psychic monkey.
character.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I view the world. But just to put some spice into it, because we've all heard of a psychic monkey, I went with the empty whispers background. So I'm super into like planar riffs, and I can like hear the whispers of like forgotten souls and memories. So I'm gonna be kind of wispy when it comes to my mind.
Nice. Very cool.
What's
And what's
that?
the ancestry heritage on that?
What did I choose? Oh, monkey god Vanara, which is the race that I am. Vanara is the monkey
Vanara.
race.
You're descended from the monkey gods,
Yes, I am.
That's fucking dope. Very
which
cool.
we've all seen in Bloons Tower Defense, so we all know what they look like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Austin, you haven't played Bloons Tower Defense?
I have. I just don't know if I've gotten far enough to get monkey gods.
Okay, all right. If you upgrade the super monkeys enough, then you get monkey gods.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Very
usually
cool.
just get to monkey ninjas and I'm satisfied.
Monkey
usually
ninjas are
go
great.
much farther than that.
They throw like 5 shurikens at a time when you level them up all the way.
All them fucking balloons.
Man, we could just play Blend's tower defense all night long.
Really
Very
the
cool.
campaign we're doing.
So, Josh, that kind of leaves you. Do you have an idea of your ancestry or heritage that you want to play to start
Yeah,
with?
I think I'm gonna go with a Gripply named Kirpy.
Okay.
Gripplies are the frog people.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
Kirby.
And the class I'm going with is a bard because I just like to imagine this really awkward frog guy trying to,
Like to
become
play
a
it?
bard
Okay,
in this big
that's
city. Yeah.
dope.
What if he was like trying to influence like the children of the future?
You should
Yeah.
write that down somewhere, Josh, and as we're doing other things on the side, I can start working on some character art for you.
Okay. And his heritage is Windweb Gripply because he can fall from any height without taking any fall damage. And I like to imagine this bard is a very bad bard and gets thrown out of buildings quite a bit.
That's amazing. I love that.
But high class buildings where you'll take falling damage if you're thrown out of them.
yeah,
not
like
just
you're tall
Yeah.
buildings.
Just tall buildings, yeah.
yeah, we're in Absalom. Come on.
There's no glass in Absalom.
That's
That's
fair. Okay, that's sick. So what does it say in the book, Brendan? What like the next thing you're supposed to choose? Is that like your background then? Her class.
Yeah, so you kind of go through and like start building out your ability scores. So
Because I didn't say my background is bounty hunter, by the way. And then
they'll
I don't
also-
know if I didn't talk about my class
It
as
does-
swashbuckler class too. So
yeah, it does say you'll select your ancestry, your background, your class, and then you'll apply your ability boosts, which I think you get to pick 2 of them, and they boot, or maybe you get to pick 4 of them. Is
Yeah,
that how many you
looks
pick?
ancestry boosts. I have 2 ancestry boosts, and then
you
I
get to pick
have
4. You
2.
get 4 free boosts.
I have 2 background boosts, 1 class boost, and then 4 free boosts.
Okay.
Nice.
So you get to pick 4 of those, and they will increase the score by 2.
Yep.
So then that will get you your total for your ability scores. So, and I don't think it'll be. I mean, it'll probably be pretty comparable to anybody that's played, other games, Starfinder, Pathfinder, D&D, like it should be.
Yeah.
I think probably pretty close.
Yep.
And you might, like, your ancestry may give you a free ability boost. You might be able to move that around so that you can just double check and make sure that that's not one that you can adjust. It's like, but some of them are like static, like all
Yeah.
dwarves, I think, get a bonus to Constitution or whatever. It's like
My
all-
class boost is static. It's just dexterity.
Mhm.
But-
class boost, it definitely should be.
Yeah.
Static.
But yeah, I went with swashbuckler with a braggart style. So I boast, taunt, and psychologically needle your foes. Trained in
Very
intimidation, gain panache during an encounter whenever I successfully demoralize a
Is that
foe.
how we say it?
Uh-huh.
Panache? Is it
Panache?
panache? Panache? Oh
I think
god,
it's panache.
it might be a tomato situation.
I'm pretty sure it's panache, but
I've heard
I don't think I also don't think it really matters all that much.
The real question is, how do you say the Pokemon that Magikarp evolves into?
Gyarados. It's not
Gyarados.
It's not Gyarados.
Just check it. We can still be friends.
Yeah. So I took
Can we still be
that.
friends if I didn't know the answer to that?
It's like
As long as you didn't say it
Gyarados.
wrong.
Okay,
Gyarados is your other option, and that's just not right.
That's just because it sounds wrong.
Gyarados? Ugh.
Gyarados.
But for swashbuckler, I didn't know what this was. I kind of had an idea. I could just imagine like a pirate, but it's many warriors rely on brute force, weightly armor, and cumbersome weapons. But for me, battle is a dance where you move among foes with style and grace, dart among combatants with flair, and land powerful finishing moves with the flick of a wrist or the flash of a blade.
So
very blade.
Yeah. So our Game of Thrones fans, you're sort of Bravos. You're not
Yeah.
a Westerosi knight. You're sort of Bravos.
Oh, yeah.
Your goal is to never be touched during
Yeah.
the combat, as opposed to a fighter who's just like, well, I'm going to pile on armor until I don't get hurt anymore.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I'm not like a heavy hitter inside, but I'm like kind of a quick get in there, do some damage, get out. It's kind of hard to hit me like I have nimble dodge. So if a creature targets me with an attack and I can see the attacker, I gain a +2 circumstance bonus to AC against the attack. And that's as
Is
a
that an action?
that is a
So it is a
reaction, I
reaction.
believe.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Cool.
It's got the little
It's got a little
arrow.
backwards arrow.
Yeah, so I think that's a reaction.
Yeah.
Because it says against the triggering attack. And the only requirement is that I'm not encumbered. So I think that's just we'll get into the rules, but you get one reaction, right, per round.
Yeah, yeah. So people who are familiar with tabletop RPGs, Pathfinder Second Edition breaks everything down into a number of actions. So you don't have different kinds. You don't have to worry about, is this a standard action? Is this a full action? Is this a move action? Is it a free action? You have 3 actions on your turn and a reaction. That's it. So some things will take 2 actions. Some things might only take 1. Some things might take all 3. And some things, you like spell casting, in some instances, you might be able to use just 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how powerful you need the spell to be. So like there's just different things that you can adjust. So it's much more flexible of a system. But yeah, you should get a reaction on your turn. And so if you spend that, the first guy, if you dodge away from it, you might not be able to dodge again, which kind of makes sense, right? You can't just keep.
Oh,
it's
not
like,
everyone has attacks of opportunity.
and not everybody has attacks of opportunity. That's a specific to classes that say they have attacks of opportunity. So, and that's true for monsters as well. You might run into stuff that's, not that reactive. You can run right underneath it and it won't attack you. But you also might run into stuff that fights intelligently and is much more difficult to defeat. So, but we can dig into the action economy and stuff a little bit more later. But yeah, like the next steps after ancestries is backgrounds and classes. So if anybody else wants to talk about what class, I mean, I think we kind of know now, right? Like we've got a champion, we've got a swashbuckler, we've got a psychic, and we've got a bard.
What kind of background? Maybe I missed it. What kind of backgrounds did you guys take?
Background, that's the empty whispers. So that's
okay, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, okay.
Shift. Yeah.
I took Disciple of the Gear.
Okay, cool. Leaning into the building stuff. I like that.
I took Artist.
That makes sense. Cool. There's just like a billion backgrounds, so it's just yeah.
I found a lot of the stuff from mine and Dark Archives, because that's where the psychic came in. It was like an extension off of the
like
Pathfinder
occult stuff, right?
Yeah, it's very occult heavy.
That's cool.
But it was that, and what was the other one? It was had to do with the elements, or being prepared for anything.
Okay.
Wish I had it in front of me. But there was another class that they added. See if I can find it. Thaumaturgian? Is that it?
Thaumaturgy?
Yeah.
Like Thaumcraft.
Yeah, I would be really curious how that word is supposed to be pronounced, because it's a hell of a word.
While you look that up, what did you guys take as your class feats then? Or Josh, I guess rather, have you taken a class feat yet? I guess we have ancestry feats and class feats, or I do at least.
I do.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Class feat at level 1. I get mine at level 2 by the looks of it. I have a muse, and my muse is the Enigma.
Oh.
All right. Keep your secrets.
Thaumaturge.
Okay.
Thaumaturge.
I took, the class feat was my nimble dodge, but then my ancestry feat, haha, crazy, right? I took vampire lore, which just means I was raised. Lore? Yeah, so it means I was raised by a vampiric parent, or I've invested substantial time and energy researching the secrets of your undead progenitors. So I'm just gain a trained proficiency in religion and society. You also become trained.
I'm curious. Have you written down all the things that you're going to say in combat? When you're trying to egg people on, you're just like, some motherfuckers just want to escape up a hill.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I think Josh is just like, what? I put the clip in tech nonsense. I really just need that as a soundbite.
How old is the original Blade movie?
90.
Is it older than I am?
I want to say it might be as old potentially. I'm looking.
Okay. I was just like, it's funny because it is. I think it's probably, if it's older than I am, it's probably the oldest movie that you like besides Star Wars. And I only assume that you like the original Star
98.
Wars
Nope.
movies. I don't
Came out
actually know.
same year as Mulan.
Okay.
98,
Well, it's not
yeah,
as bad.
okay.
It's relatively new then.
Yeah, okay.
Relatively compared to something. I don't
It's
know.
25 years old.
No, because I was 2 when I watched it. That's right. No.
I'm just remembering, sitting on the edge of the couch, not being able to reach the floor.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Fun
No,
stuff.
I remember wanting to go see Mulan, but we went and saw Blade instead.
It's as old as
Ah,
Nicholas. Yeah, that's what Nicholas said. It's as old
Yeah.
as him.
Yeah. That's why I think it's young, probably. I have to stay grounded somehow.
Yeah.
Your parents
Gravity.
still ground you?
Oh no, there's plenty of that.
I do have a free feat as well.
I might still be grounded.
An experience tracker, which is kind of cool.
That might be because you're a human?
No, that's because of the
Swashbuckler or something?
it's the vampire lore, actually, I think. Or no, it's the
Sometimes humans get an extra feat because they're
well, this was like a free feat. Like I didn't pick this one.
Because it's boring and they have to give you
Oh.
extra stuff.
they're adaptable.
Apologies.
Oh.
I just saw where it was. Must be up here. Oh no, it's a bounty hunter.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you got it for your class.
I got it from my background. Yep.
Got a bit of feat for your background. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I really do like in second edition, like it feels like all the choices that you make do matter. Like they do factor in.
Like
Even like
stuff.
yeah, I mean like even when it comes to buying equipment and stuff, because you can not buy a backpack, but like the backpack actually means that you can carry 4 bulk worth of stuff without it weighing you down or something. Like it's like it does factor into your stat block if you choose not to buy a backpack. So
yeah,
like it's fun
cool.
just to think about. It's fun because the other games have that level of detail, but it doesn't matter if you do it or don't.
Right,
Yeah. It's like you can buy backpacks in basically any RPG ever, but some of them they don't matter, and some of them they do give you bonuses like more storage.
Yeah.
So this is cool. So this is very it's like you'll end up spending, and that's the next thing I think after figuring out classes, figuring out backgrounds, you start buying equipment. And
you should have everything in that level 1 block on the left-hand side filled out. I think,
yeah,
because this doesn't exactly lead you through it as well as much as like Hephaestus does, but it's still like you can see everything that you need to fill out there on the left-hand side under the level 1.
Yeah, so this actually lists out equipment before skills, but it might be something else worth talking about.
Yeah, skill training.
Because like you guys, well, let's see, we do have a couple of skilled characters. The bard probably has a lot of skill points to spend.
I do just because my intelligence is high.
Yeah, that's good too.
I'm trained in a lot of things, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've got like a +6 to stealth, +6 to acrobatics, and +4 to a lot of things. Like a lot of things.
A lot of things. Yeah. I mean, there's
which
probably.
I feel like is good. I mean, I guess I don't quite know, but
yeah, I would say that most skills you'll find a reason to use them eventually. I don't think there's a lot of skills that are just like not super helpful,
like lore
maybe
vampire
in some other games.
Or
Lore
religion.
vampire could come in handy. Yeah, I mean, like the individual like. I mean, like Pathfinder and D&D has like the knowledge religion, the knowledge arcane, knowledge planes, like all those, and those are all useful because they're helpful to like identify creatures and stuff that you come across. So like it helps. You don't all need to be knowledgeable in religion, but at least one person should be capable of rolling that skill. And this game has you level up like your proficiency in the skills. So like you want people to be trained in a couple of different things.
oh yeah, trained in more things than I'm not. So
Yeah.
which I assume is normal, but
Yeah, like I'm looking at my lore, and I just have the lore planar rift, which is
lore,
just
yeah,
there because of my background, right?
yeah. I have
And I'm
lore.
seeing on the stream,
Yeah, I
yeah,
have
you
lore
have
legal
vampire.
and lore vampire. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know where I get the lore legal from, though. To be honest, that might be bounty hunter too.
it might. Oh yeah, yeah, bounty hunter, because you'll have to. Yeah, that makes
Yeah, you're
sense.
trained in the survival skill and the legal lore skill, and you gain the experience tracker skill feat. So, yep. I know
Yeah,
my laws
so
and I know my vampires.
it does kind of sound like a certain someone,
Mm-hmm.
certain daywalker.
It's him. It's the day one.
Is that what he calls? Okay, I
Uh-huh.
just want to
Yeah.
make sure that's right. Okay.
Uh-huh. No, you're right.
Yeah. We could go over kind of a list of the skills. So acrobatics is going to be your, your balancing, your tumbling around. Arcana is going to be recall knowledge. It's going to be what you use to decipher magical writing and identify magic, learn spells. Athletics, that's all your physical stuff: climb, force open, grapple, high jump, long jump, shove, swim, trip, disarm. Crafting, you can use that. You can use that to recall knowledge about something, kind of identify what something is, but you can also use that to build things, make income. It's crafting is also useful for alchemy. Deception, create diversions, impersonate somebody, lie. Feinting in combat is a deception, which will be useful for swashbuckler here, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Feinting in combat usually gives you a bonus to hit or a penalty on their attack.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about my panache because there's like specific rules
Panache.
to get into a state of panache.
Yeah,
Pa-
you have to
pancake.
You have to do good combat. You have to beat people
Well,
to get
it's
your
like
panache points back.
I have to have a bit of flair, so like tumble through, or
Daring do's and stuff, right?
yeah, daring action, swinging on a
Mm-hmm.
chandelier, sliding down drapery, that kind of like
Mm-hmm.
fancy cool stuff that might have a
You will not be
specific
allowed
DC.
to be a background character. You have to go out and do things.
You should know that you don't have to worry about that. I struggle to do that.
So, diplomacy is good for gathering information, making an impression on somebody, making a request. Intimidation, kind of similarly, it's coercing, it's demoralizing. Your lore skill is primarily just for recall knowledge. Now, it's important to note a lot of these actions that we talk about have the little arrows next to them. And so on your character sheet somewhere, you should be able to look up like the actions that you can take in combat, and it'll tell you how many actions these things are.
Yep.
Like recall knowledge is usually an action. So somebody at the beginning of combat, if you're fighting a creature and maybe you're fighting a bear and somebody's playing a character who has knowledge nature or nature lore or something like that, I don't know what's
They
called
all
in this.
take. Yep, they all take one action.
So
Yeah, there's an
that
actions
first
tab.
that first lore check is usually one action. So you want to do that at the beginning of the combat so that everybody else
No,
knows.
free action.
Yeah, knows not to get underneath the bear or whatever.
It does look
whatever
like there's a
problems.
number of free actions though, unless they.
There are definitely some actions that still don't require an action on your in combat, but medicine is about administering first aid, treating disease, treating poison, treating wounds. Nature will allow you to command animals, and also that's your lore for natural creatures. Occultism is mostly recalling knowledge or deciphering ancient writings and identifying magic spells. Performance is just used to perform. You can earn income with performance skill.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Hey, can. Religion is again you're recalling knowledge, you're deciphering religious writings, you're identifying divine spells. Society is kind of like your culture check for those of you who played Starfinder. It's like learning about people, getting along with them, recalling knowledge about them, but also apparently that also includes your creating forgery and so that allows you to forge documentation
That
or
makes
to
sense.
decipher
I like that.
documentation. So that's society's kind of tucked in there. Kind of like I would say that's like a rogue's skill, right? A rogue or ranger, somebody might have a high society skill so they could get along in urban environments. Stealth That's hiding something on your person, or hiding yourself, or sneaking in someplace. That's all your stealth skills. Survival, knowing which direction you need to go. Subsisting on the land, so like you're foraging for food, covering your tracks or finding tracks. That's all wrapped up in survival. And then dex thievery is the ability. You can pickpocket, you can steal, you can disable locks, disable traps, pick a lock, or palm something. So grab something so nobody else sees you grab it.
Yeah, we should probably have at least one thief.
I have a +3. I'm untrained, but I have a +3 in it.
Yeah, I have a +2, but I'm untrained.
Does the untrained matter necessarily, Brendan, if you have a plus to it? Like you can
It
anybody?
can.
Okay.
So
It's
there's
like
some, there's some things like this is a average lock. You can't attempt it unless you're trained in lock picking.
Okay.
So like even if you've got a +2 or +3, just because you're dexterous doesn't mean you'd ever be able to figure out this lock. So there is some element of that.
I think you have to
And,
get to
like,
+4 to be considered trained in it, right? I think that's what it is.
I don't know if it's like a number or if it's like, I think at certain levels you get to increase your training and certain skills.
You can click on the skill to see the different actions that you could perform with it too. By the way.
Yeah.
Which is pretty.
So
cool.
it should be really easy to figure out. Yeah, the cool different stuff that you can do.
Yeah. So my tumble through to get panache is a acrobatics roll, which is what I hoped for. So. It's the enemy's reflex DC.
And a lot of that stuff is enemies of a certain level will just have a DC.
It's their
they
reflex.
hit for stuff. You guys will do so. This game also has something called flat checks, which is just like if I say make a DC 12 flat check, that means that you just roll a dice and try to get above a 12. Like you roll a D20 and you try to get above a 12. Like there's no bonuses or anything to add to it. It's just a flat check. It's just it's really just capturing percentage. Yeah, it's really just like if I want to say something is a 50-50 chance, then it's like, oh, it's probably like a DC 10 flat check. And then you just roll to see if you get it or roll to see if you don't.
Okay.
So that will happen once in a while, but the mechanics of it, we're kind of hoping that this is like a playtest module, so it kind of introduces everybody to the mechanics of it, like a little bit at a time.
Okay, a little bit of everything is going to be there eventually. Cool.
Yeah, so we shouldn't have to. Hopefully, it'll be okay if we don't all know exactly what we're doing.
But the fact that I already bought and have a grappling hook that will come into play at some point during the adventure.
I'm sure it'll be useful.
Okay, cool.
There are, because I didn't know what to buy, and Brendan showed me there are, if you go to the gear sections,
should be kits.
And add gear. Yeah, there's if you scroll down, if you do all, I think, and then scroll down to the Ks, and it might even just be in gear. You should see a bunch of. I don't know if is there a search? Yeah, I don't think there's a search.
Is it just adventuring?
Yeah, it's adventuring. Yep. So if you go to kit or gear, adventuring, and then scroll down to kit, there's a kit for every class that just has some like default stuff in it. So that's all that I bought, to be honest.
And it'll have weapons and armor and stuff.
Yeah, if your class is
if you click on the filter.
Oh, in the top right.
Option for you. Yeah, if there's a filter thing.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There you go.
There is not a psychic kick, which makes sense.
Not be.
So I really don't need it much.
Yeah, there may not be one for.
You might be able to buy one that looks close though, and have it be work.
Yeah, an oracle kit or a sorcerer kit. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think oracle and sorcerer might come with like spell component patches and stuff. You may not need that.
No, all my stuff's mental.
But I think when you purchase the kit, it gives you all the individual items, your inventory.
Yep.
So then if you want to turn around and get rid of things, you can turn around and sell back the stuff that you don't need.
Okay, and it does give us automatically, like, what was it? Like 20 gold pieces?
15 gold.
Okay, 15.
For everybody, I think.
Yep.
Cool.
So, and
I'm only down to 12, and I already have quite a few different things. Because a lot of it's just like silver pieces and copper pieces.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, like, buying a backpack is only 7 silver pieces. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do? It's if you're a character that doesn't have armor, or like really physical weapons, then it's kind of tough to spend your stuff at first level because you're just like, I don't
I'm
really
I'm
need
I'm trying. I'm giving
Yeah.
it my all.
it. Yeah.
I'll probably run out of room before I do gold.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Austin was mentioned encumbrance earlier. Encumbrance.
Thank God. What to say? Do you say encumbrance? Because I was just gonna leave.
Yes, encumbrance.
Yeah.
Encumbrance
Encumbrance.
sits in
I'm going
the.
to fucking cum.
Tough.
But
Where does it show that? Because I'm not seeing my
it's in your
like
gear.
how much I'm holding.
It's in your gear underneath your gold count. It should say your total bulk, and then unencumbered,
cool.
and then how much your encumbered level is, and what your max is.
Sweet.
So a lot of stuff is light, so it'll take like 10 of those to add up to one bulk. And again, if you buy a backpack, I think you can stick stuff in it and it'll like it only
My
counts
kit came with a
one bulk.
backpack. Yeah.
But it's like I think the backpack I think only counts as
Yep,
one bulk,
one bulk.
but you can store up to 4 bulk of stuff in it, I think, or something like that.
I've got a bedroll, flint and steel, rope, torch, chalk, rations, soap, and a water skin. In my
Which, as far as
backpack.
I know, you can't stack the backpacks, so you can't just stick a backpack inside your backpack and then
It's
another
not like
backpack inside that.
Minecraft mods. Yeah.
It's not Minecraft mods.
You
Yeah.
can't put a dank inside a dank.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Unless we get a bag of holding, in which case we can put a bag of holding inside
Mill space
another bag
chamber,
of
I believe.
holding. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Easy
no, you put
peasy.
a bag of holding inside another bag of holding and then create a vortex.
Mhm.
Suck all the party members.
I think that's how universes are created, actually.
I think it's a universe are destroyed, actually.
Could be. Fourth
Create a
dimensional
destroy,
black hole
help
creating
further cycle.
three-dimensional universes and so on. And so forth.
Yeah. For all the listening audience, we actually were playing D&D 5th edition, and then we got a bag of holding and then threw a portable hole in it and just got sucked in, spit out
Now we're in
Pathfinder 2E
Pathfinder.
land.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Sometimes
uh,
that happens.
Crazy shit happens.
yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch the stream at least for a moment to the map tools page because I
Okay.
have character art for 3 of
Ah.
us at least to show.
Hold on,
So-
it's on a Witcher ad. Can you wait for a second before
Too late. I already
doing
clicked the
that?
button.
Shoot. Still have
If
20 seconds of
you-
this thing I'm not
If
gonna watch.
you pull up the chat, you should see my stream in the top right above the chat. I think you like press the little arrow. And it should
Oh,
show
okay.
a little thing.
Yep.
It's kind of a nice way to be able to like we're missing stuff or whatever. You can see it. So
It's okay. This cut down on the time.
Yeah.
I was just kind of stalling with
Yeah,
this whole
that's fair.
thing.
So I
And we're
have. I guess. Does everybody want to? Josh, did you get gear? Did everybody get gear? Does everyone feel like their character? I'm sorry, Brendan. I sometimes go into DM mode and I feel like a dick about it.
Ah,
No, you
no, I thought you were
should.
just running it from
You
here. out.
should.
Well, so I kind of like I confuse.
I just feel like I should be in charge. and
No,
so
I
just put
I
myself in that
confuse
role.
running.
That's exactly what's happening.
Seems
I
like the right
confuse
thing to
running
do.
the stream with running the game is the
It's
problem.
like I'm the most responsible person here, so I should clearly
So
be in
what
charge of
works
giving me
best
the-
for the stream, and right now what works best
No.
for the stream is I'm showing the characters, but the characters I have 3 out of the 5 names here at the very least. I don't know what happened to Dalton. I hope he's okay and alive.
I don't know if he messaged you or not, but he said he probably wouldn't be here tonight.
Oh no, he did not message me.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
All right,
I'll
well,
message you separately, but I
That's
think we're
okay.
playing without him for now.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we have I have your guys' character names pulled up too, at least those of us that talked about it beforehand. So if anybody wants to talk about what their character looks like, because everyone's character looks pretty fucking dope, to be honest.
Oh yeah, we do.
So, but yeah, we have Elnat, Luther, and Karu.
Oh,
Mm. Swag like Karu.
Swag like you. Oh
it's going
no!
like Kairu.
Josh, I literally have Utopia pulled up so I can update this overlay in real time. Josh, how do you spell your character's name?
K
Uh-huh.
E
Uh-huh.
R
Uh-huh.
P
Uh-huh.
Y.
Kirby. Okay, love it. Okay. So now if I do file save.
Kirby, I do it for you.
Kirby.
Cool. So that's Kirby now. Cool. I don't have a picture for you yet. That's okay. You're just a frog bard.
I'm not just a frog bard. I'm the frog bard.
Okay. Is that the best way
Oh.
to describe? I guess what's your race again?
Gripply? I don't think it'll show up.
No, I just was gonna look up images of a Gripply so I could get an idea of what they look like. Okay, so yeah, you're just a
What are
Okay.
frogs?
I'm
Okay.
not just a little frog person.
okay. No, you're a uplifted frog. Okay,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Okay, Brendan, I don't know what you want to do next, but I'm gonna take a second and see if I can't mid-journey a
Okay.
picture together real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other big thing is spells, which is not going to apply to half of you guys.
Done and done.
Yeah, done and done. But it is something that you have to. I don't know. I don't know if bards are. Do you get to choose your spell list?
Yes, I get to
You
choose.
get to
my
choose.
spells. Yeah, 5
Is it?
cantrips, 2 level 1s.
Well, I just mean like,
Nice.
do you get to choose your like
It's
what kind of spells you have, or are they just
occult
arcane?
spells. It's
They're
all
just occult?
occult. Yeah.
It's all occult,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
You a cult?
That's
Hey,
interesting.
same
'Cause-
spell list, bro.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh
it's
my
interesting because there's no such thing as there's not divine and arcane spells anymore. There are arcane spells, divine spells, primal spells, and occult spells. Like there's like 4 different categories.
Yeah, and I thought bards could cast like all of them, kind of like wizards can, because
Yeah,
they learn them.
I think
Isn't that
I
right?
know wizards can choose which spell list that they want to draw their spells from, but I don't know.
Oh, it could be part of your background or something.
My understanding is that it's because I chose Enigma, so I get the occult ones.
Mm.
Josh, I'm gonna send you my first variation of pictures on
If
Discord.
he's not wearing a top hat and a monocle, I don't want it.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
the first
he's
one's already
not.
terrible.
Then fuck you. Your first ones were fucking sick. Your ape Jedi's looked fucking dope. Maybe not exactly what you wanted off the rip, but they were all fucking cool. You know what Josh's look like? And I'm not gonna put it on stream because I want to wait for like a final product. They look like it's that I think it's from Family Guy, that Kermit the Frog scene where he's playing the banjo like on the side of the road. Back from where you came. That's what he looks like. It's fucking great. It's literally just a guitar or a frog holding the guitar. Give me notes on those, Josh. More upright, different. I just said bard, and it happened to give all of them a guitar / lute. So if you have
I'd say a different instrument.
Okay, you have an idea.
I am going to think of one that I want him to have.
Okay.
A little less of this weird squatting position and possibly racist in Georgia position.
Oh no.
Would
I'm
be
just trying to have Lorna feel included.
good. Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to think of other instruments that they could be. What if he plays the pan flute?
Mm.
He's a
Love me a
frog.
pan flute.
I'll do it. I'll see what I can get.
I was
My
gonna say
first,
piccolo,
in case
but-
anyone was curious, my first mid-journey prompt was uplifted frog, bard, full body, D&D style. But now I'm doing uplifted frog, bard, full body, standing up, armor, D&D style flute.
Mm-hmm.
See what
Is your
that-
frog gonna be armored? Does that make sense?
I think he has studded leather.
Studded
Okay.
leather.
He's studded leather. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. The hardest thing about the character portraits is that you're probably not going to be accurate to your weapons or to your armor all the time, just because it's
Yeah,
hard to
Like I
hard
don't,
to make
I
that
don't
happen.
actually have dangly shit coming off my robes.
Yeah,
You don't?
I didn't remove that
That's
on
good
this
enough.
picture, but on your character token that should be removed. But
Okay.
yeah, very cool.
Nicholas said I was literally typing out pan flute.
He sure did.
The audience demands it.
The
Oh
audience
my god,
demands
something
more
about
food.
Bard just makes him want to. Oh wait, yeah, makes him want to have a
He's
fucking
got so many guitars.
guitar. I'll do
So
no
many
guitar
guitars.
and see what I get.
No guitar.
Is there a way that you can show your AI art on stream? Or is that like
Yeah,
a
I could.
no for
Yeah, I
Twitch?
could. Yeah,
But
as a
no
moment while we're doing
AI.
character creation, sometimes character creation involves character art. So I have
Okay.
this one was my, let's just F11 this page. So I have these guys, and then we've kind
They
of
all look
updated a
grumpy.
little bit. They all look what?
They look grumpy.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
bards.
frogs.
They can be very.
yeah, that's fair. I can add like a little happy. Some of these guys kind of look like they're doing something. This guy's got some sort of flute thing going here. He's like kind of force holding it.
I
in
think
the air.
his guitar is just starting to float over his shoulders.
Okay, so let's do. I like having the
Question.
armor. It kind of gives him some leather armor. Yes.
Can someone send me the stream link?
Yeah. Brendan, you got me?
Oh yeah. It's just Austin's Twitch.
Yeah, it's just twitch.tv/AustinOR, all one word.
It's understandable that you don't know.
Or
Or you can just go to the Pathfinder page, and there's only like there's like less than
just
10 people
search for
streaming it right now. No, you would see it right there on the front
Ah.
page. The first
wow.
one is Glass Cannon, and then there's some other one that's a little bit lesser, and then a bunch of people with like less than 10 viewers. So I'm definitely on the list.
Nicholas thinks that frogs have a grumpy disposition because they have to ribbit.
That's fair.
it's fair.
I just don't think they have human emotion. This one looks like they're all going to be really standing up on this next one. The no guitar is really going to kill it. Let's see. Apparently, people just really like to draw frogs with guitars because it's doing that really well. Like the fact that it's like whole.
extraordinary.
Yeah, there's just a lot of frogs. So I know you don't want the lute/guitar thing, but your best character images are going to be that. We'll see what we get though. So we have to remember AI art is just basically meshing a bunch of other art together and calling it its own.
Calling it its own thing.
This one's loading. We're at 93%.
Coincidentally,
here.
is what I'm going to do with this session. I'm just gonna call it
Okay.
good.
Some of these are getting a little bit different. We're going to staffs now, since we can't.
Why do you have this? I like the one that's carrying a bucket. He's got like a teapot.
That's cool. Yeah. If we're liking anything from any of these, Josh, at any point, let me.
Bottom left for sure.
We like bottom left without any changes, or do you want me to try to bottom left with a variation?
With the variation, yeah.
Okay, let's do
variation.
that's variation 3. So again, we have uplifted frog, bard, full body, standing up, armor, D&D style flute, and then telling it to not have a guitar. Any other words that you want me to take in or put in, or what do you want to change about it?
Monocle.
Monocle. Oh god, how do I spell
MONOCLE.
Okay. Mono makes sense. I feel like there should be another
Wait a minute.
letter
is
in
that
there.
actually how it's spelled?
Mhm.
How did I spell that?
MONOCLE.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll see if we can get a monocle in there. That would be
It's
impressive.
Monocle.
And I can go in and edit out this weird thing that's coming off of his arm too. That's pretty easy. Kind of looks like he's got a wand here.
Mhm.
It doesn't.
He
look
had a
like we're
wand
gonna-
up his sleeve and he was dropping it.
Yeah,
That's in character.
That looks like
None of these
flute
look like they're going to end up
and a
with
harp.
monocles, but we'll see what happens. A different word for monocle might make sense. Monocle eyepiece, or something. Kind of adding.
glasses. Yeah, I want this frog to wear glasses.
Okay. We got a little bit more of like almost like a old-timey
getting-
European vibe to him
So
now.
he's getting very
He
very
went from-
dignified and very
He went
posh.
from Southern to like King George III type vibe, like
Mhm.
Exactly. Which is only one step removed, so
yeah. Do any of those? We like any of those more or less? I love this. This is incredible.
I
What a
love that
unique
they
set
just
of
got,
people.
like a tiny hat on in like 3 of them. Like
Yeah.
why is he wearing a tiny hat?
Oh, bottom right. Bottom right.
We like bottom right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try a
I think
very.
the bottom right one is subtly flipping off the camera with his left hand.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think that's his first finger, but I like the vibe.
Maybe.
I think his first finger seems to be holding a set of brass balls in it. Maybe.
Yeah. He's got his
Let's do a variation on 3, and instead of monocle, we'll say.
He actually doesn't have a pan flute.
Glasses.
He's just got a set of tambourines.
Yeah, he's got the. No, he's got what's the instrument that's just like 2 balls that you just like clack together. That'd be a sick bard weapon, a bard instrument. What's that called? I honestly want to say it's called like clackers or something like that.
Called a dingling.
Maybe it could be.
Dingling. Yeah.
Never heard that song?
Dingling.
My father gave me 2 silver bells and a string.
Two silver
did I
balls and
do,
a string told me it was my dingling.
Did I variation 3? Oh wait, it
What? That's
One,
the
two,
song.
That's the song.
I think it is like that.
Father gave me two
Oh
silver
no,
bells.
I might have
and a
fucked that
string.
up.
Said that it was my ding-a-ling-a-ling.
That must have been a song that fathers tell their sons.
Yeah.
I
Oh
missed
god.
that one.
We don't get those kinds of jokes from you very often, so I appreciate when it happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I fucked that up a little bit, so we're gonna go with this one instead, and we'll go ahead and get an upscaled version of this one. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we have the upscaled version. I'm still waiting for the glasses variation to see if we can get something better out of that. Let's see. I think we're degrading in quality as we keep remixing it.
That's okay.
Are you okay with that one that we showed? Just this one by itself?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I can just add that for now, and then see if I can get a version of that with some sort of a monocle or glasses too. I like that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add that into the overlay while we're sitting here, and then I'll get a background removed version sent over to you shortly too, Brendan. If you want to start other things or whatever.
Okay,
Sure.
sorry, I don't want to go on too far of a tangent, but who's the lady that sucked off the president?
Monica
Monica
Lewinsky.
Lewinsky.
Monocle. Yeah, is that same word or is
Monica
that?
Lewinsky. Yes, Monocle Lewinsky.
Okay,
As
just want to
long
make
as
sure I
we-
was hearing that.
You
Right.
We're
got
on
it,
the
you nailed it.
right page, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh.
Oh, man.
There. That was good. Okay, OBS is over here. We go to this page.
I was listening to the Glass Cannon podcast, and they have a character who's playing a gnoll, Gnoll. It's like a hyena creature, a hyena person. But of course, the joke had to be made. Like when he asked what type of gnoll he was like, I'm a savage gnoll or whatever. And he's like, as long as he's not a grassy gnoll. And then somebody was like, yeah, you get 2 hits for every single ranged attack you make.
Oh no.
Damn.
Grassy
And then
gnoll.
the FBI calls him and says, we need to talk.
Yeah. Getting too close. Okay. Well, does everybody kind of feel like they have their characters getting figured out? Does anybody need help with anything? That's what we're here for.
No.
We
I
are
think I'm okay.
I think Luther's ready to fucking go.
We are ventriloquists. Ventriloquists are we. Okay.
Oh god damn it.
Well, let's
Brendan?
see. Now,
I
Yeah.
am sending you file right now.
send me what? Oh, okay.
He's sending you a dick pic.
Okay.
I was like,
We have Kirby, Elnot, Luther, and Karu all loaded in to the OBS layout. All tokens have been sent to Brendan. We are in there similar to swimwear.
just like swimwear.
Cool. Those characters are so much better than your other Pathfinder group, don't you think?
Nope. Definitely not going to catch me saying that online. All my other Pathfinder group, all of them are also AI generated characters.
No, not the art, just like the thought and like the type of characters they
Oh,
are.
you think you guys spent more work on these? Oh,
Yeah,
I
well, I
see.
just think they're
Yeah,
just better. Like in a fight, they would win, type of thing. You know.
Oh, yeah, definitely beat my other group that's now 8th level.
Nicholas said,
Probably.
"I'm literally here." Oh well, yeah. Obviously, you scale down.
Super
You
easy.
scale up the level. You know, obviously.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that
But,
was
like,
obvious to you. but
My
not to everybody else.
vampire swashbuckler is putting that shitty barbarian in the dirt. So
Oh,
he said, "I'm literally here." Not
guess
even
it's-
close.
I
Even
could-
I don't think you could hit me. AC 17? No.
Ooh.
At level
I
1?
stepped out for
AC
1
17 at
second.
level
What are we
1?
talking about?
How
Is
much
Austin,
better? How much better our
jumping his
Pathfinder group
chest out
is
again?
than his other Pathfinder
Is that what
group?
he's doing?
He's trying to start shit right now. I
Trying
think.
to start.
I'm hearing that. It's
Yeah.
it's a different vibe than when I. What happened?
I just
Oh,
felt
man.
like it.
You're fighting someone. Who's your target this time?
Boss 3 would rip every single one of these characters in half without issues. Wow, that's crazy. You think you could beat a Jedi monkey? That's nuts. I've watched you fight characters. All we have to do is turn Nicholas against everyone else. He does it regularly. His character is constantly like, you know what? I'm going to be a bad guy. Weak. Weak will. All right,
What's
I'll
your will
stop.
save?
Right now at level 1, it's a +6.
That's crazy. Must be a second edition thing.
Just different rules, yeah.
It's quite high.
Boss
Yep.
3 eats Jedi monkeys for breakfast. That seems super inefficient. Like, there's got to be an
Yes.
easier prey.
He has eaten a lot of monkeys for breakfast. That's true.
That's true.
There's a number of Cherokee that have died.
Yeah, Cherokee.
Not did it super well. Yeah, not Benarias.
Josh, I didn't ask earlier. Did Map Tools end up working for you with the other link?
Yeah, I got it working.
Cool.
Did you actually get it downloaded? I was
I
gonna
got it.
say if I have to.
I hooked him up with everything.
Okay, if I have to upload it or change versions, we can. You can try and connect if you guys want. I think the server is technically up.
You'll probably have to send the
I'm
information.
connected, but I don't see anything.
I will. Okay, that's fair. You probably don't have characters, which would make it
Yeah.
kind of difficult.
What's the?
Yeah, you
Sure,
want to
I got it.
send password, address, and port to him.
Just post it on Austin's stream. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, thinking ahead. I did not show it on stream.
Port 5123.
Uh-oh,
Yep.
Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud. Huh?
you're good. There's lots of ports.
It's-
The world is full
I like
of
this guy.
ports. That doesn't help.
Oh my
either.
god, we're being DDoS right now! Go down, go down! So my screen just gets fuzzy and disappears.
Thank
Dungeons and
God.
Dragon dice.
Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh my god. What a
Did
what
you
a
all go
classic.
see the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys see that?
Actually.
Fucking
It was
loved
quite
it. It was
good.
awesome.
That was really good. Yeah.
It was
that
cool.
fun.
I liked the practical stuff that they did
Yeah.
with it.
You could see them doing turns. Like you could see the rounds
Mhm.
playing
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It was rad.
I appreciated it more having had played the game now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
and
for
it was good for
players.
people who hadn't played the game either, because it was just a, you know,
Yeah.
it's an
It was a
action
fun
medieval
movie for people to watch, and then like for those of you that had a little more information, you're just like, oh, this is good. I like
Mhm.
that.
A little inside baseball.
God, where is there a chat window that I'm not seeing? View,
Yep.
or it's
You just
window,
control enter.
chat. Okay.
Control enter. It'll appear or disappear.
So the one thing that we usually have open on Map Tools, at least I do, Josh, on my screen, is the initiative as well. This is the first time I've ever even seen chat, to be honest. Just
We
because
usually-
it's
I mean,
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. We're already talking.
Yeah, that's
There's
fair.
less
But
chatting
initiative
going
is
on.
definitely used. I'm gonna go grab another drink, but yeah, I guess the question is, do we want to? Is there like introduction stuff that we?
so-
Yeah, you go ahead.
Heck,
Well, I was
this-
gonna say, so we talked about, it's like if everybody gets their characters done and wants to get into it, we could probably get started tonight if you guys wanted to. The other option is because we were talking about, this is only going to be, I mean, this module that I downloaded is only supposed to be like 4 to 5 hours of content, so it might last a couple weeks. We'd also talked about playing an Avatar game next. Avatar: The Last Airbender. So in that case, we could also do some kind of session 0 stuff for that. You know, make Austin be in charge for a little bit and make characters for that. Kind of decide what we wanted for that, and then come back to it in a couple weeks because Austin needs, I think, a little bit more information from us about
We want
what
to do
we
the
want
campaign.
the story to be about and what we want to do in the campaign to get that part started.
That is true.
Because they don't have any pre-written stuff for
Yeah, so
Avatar.
I'll be writing our campaign. So there's like a thing with session 0 for Avatar where we go through and we basically create an inciting incident where it's like we either, for like Act 1, we choose like we either befriended an ally, or we discovered a secret hidden thing, or we did something fun but drew the ire of someone, or we learned frightening plans of X, Y, and Z. So we do
Or
that like for
Started a war in Ba Sing Se.
The
Yeah.
Fire Nation attack sort of thing.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Actually, our I've already selected this because we kind of talked about it a little bit. Our game actually takes place in the Kyoshi era, so I already have our era, and I kind of have our group focus, like what I want the overall story to end up being. But the inciting incident is kind of like how we all got together as a group, like a small story about how we all ended up together. So it's not like a traditional, like, oh, we were all at the tea shop and met. So
We could be at the tea shop though, still, right?
good. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have to do that. I mean, we could get started on this. The only problem is I don't know if man, I'm struggling for words now. If we can start enough of Pathfinder that we're not like rolling a bunch of stuff and like an introduction to the story. I'm thinking about Dalton. I don't want him to get real far behind on something if we need to catch him up on something, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, I would say
I mean, he did start halfway through our last campaign.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just depends. I don't know if we want slightly behind on two things or more behind on one thing, or whatever.
I would
ends up-
say missing a key member of our party, we shouldn't start a 4 or 5 hour campaign without him.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
problem.
I'm not 100% sure if he's going to join us next week either. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because he does. Never mind. You're good.
Because he hates
Well,
us.
no, he messaged me and said he wouldn't be on, but he didn't know if he'd be able to join for this game. So
Okay.
if we wanted to get started, I don't think it would hurt his feelings.
But could we hurt him, not just his feelings?
Potentially.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Is there an NPC named
I
Dalton?
guess anything is possible.
No, I have a contingency for all of you.
Oh, he's Batman. Get it?
Because of the comics.
It's the comics.
Because of the comments.
I just watched that movie the other day.
It's a great movie, isn't it?
It
I
is.
can't even think of
And
what
it-
it's called. It's like
Doom.
The,
Just like Doom.
there you go.
Cool. Well, if we don't think he's going to be able to play Pathfinder, I mean, it's up to
I
you.
don't know if
Brendan.
that sways like your opinion of which one or the other that you guys wanted to start with, but we could. I think we're okay with doing whatever.
I mean, for
if
sure.
you guys wanted to get started and go, I've got like the first couple areas like fleshed out, so like we probably have enough material to get us to 10 o'clock tonight if you guys wanted to play.
I'm cool with that.
I just
Yeah, that
need
works for
to,
me. Yeah, I'll figure
Yeah,
out a different
yeah.
time to do Avatar stuff, and yeah, that works.
Okay. Okay. I am trying to download everyone's characters. I don't know why, but the frog person is showing up as a blank image.
Oh no.
That's
I'm gonna
weird.
try to download it. I'm just gonna try to do it again.
Excuse me.
Replace it in there. Why is it not working?
blame
Did you send me the
Austin.
other ones? Where's your character at, Austin?
I sent you that zip file.
Okay, that's why it's not in here.
I don't know. I don't remember if I background removed it though. That was the first one I sent over. I don't remember if I was doing that yet.
Okay.
I think mine's background removed. I mean, it's got
Yeah,
a white
it should.
background, but
Yeah, it should.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
pretty
good.
sure.
Can you guys see anything on the map right
like
now?
it's just like
It's
a light blue.
If you zoom out,
no, that's not blue. That's purple.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
purple,
it's light bluish purple.
No,
very,
there
very-
it is. Right there at the end. You saved it.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Oh, wait, here we go. Now I do.
Oh yeah, it's just way up high. Zoom out to like 15% and then go up, and you should see it.
Ah,
because I think you should be able to see a map of Absalom.
And then a
And
giant
also-
Poirot.
Yeah, at least one character. I'm working on getting everybody added.
God.
Austin's character.
I've
is
seen
not-
different maps of Absalom. Like I've seen it where it is an actual island, and then I've seen it
Well,
where it's this coastal
Yeah, so
city.
so there's it's the Isle of Kortos. So it is a huge island, but the city doesn't take up the whole island.
Gotcha. It's Kortos.
Mm-hmm.
I did read some of that link that you sent us, but
Yeah, I can
not get
give
all
you
the way through.
guys. Yeah, no, that's fine. Basically, I'll say this right now. All good adventures start with a story. I'll share that with you now. Thousands of years ago, there was a man who belonged to an ancient empire. He was the one called Aerodin, the last of his kind, the Aslanti. He was blessed with magical strength far beyond his kin and strength of will that has not been seen on this land since. All of civilization was drowning in the age of darkness when Aerodin chose to use his magic to seal the darkness from the Starstone and raise it up from the sea. The island that he drew from the sea would one day be called Kortos. The Starstone became a site of religious significance for his followers, and Aerodin himself would be granted the ranks of the divine for his efforts, and humanity would worship him as a living god. So around this stone that stuck out from the sea, they began to build a city and call it Absalom. Now, over the next 4 millennia, that city would grow, welcoming inhabitants from all over the world. A center of commerce, pillar of military might, a site of religious pilgrimage, and the only place that people can accept the challenge of the Starstone and be granted a chance at becoming gods. So the Starstone is like this extremely powerful magical artifact, and you can take the test. Anyone can go up to the Starstone and choose to take the test to become a god, and only 4 people in living history have ever succeeded. And they actually they're all among the current pantheon. I mean, there's Aerodin, Norgriber, Caden Killian, and one more that I can't think of right now. But there's like 4 gods that were once humans and then became gods throughout the test of the Starstone.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, but like over four millennia, like we're talking about thousands and thousands of years here. Like, so Absalom is for all intents and purposes the largest city in the known world, spanning more than 35 square miles and housing over 300,000 individuals. It would become host to warlords, pirate queens, archwizards, and much, much more. Now, all of these threats are in ages long past, but the most recent attack the city is still kind of recovering from. 1 year ago, the Fiend Flesh Siege. Demons and undead alike rose from their dark domains to attempt to take over the city, which was forced to fight back with everything it had. One unified force. The Pathfinders were the first to answer the call. Darkness surrounded the city gates, and the Pathfinders rose from their guild halls to take back the city. Second was a man called Lord Wenzel Starborn. He offered freedom to all of the city's enslaved population if they would take up arms to defend them, and defend her they did. The so-called flesh tax was ended, and one of the cruelest and oldest traditions of Absalom became a thing of the past. So many across the city have, in the last year, welcomed their manumitted neighbors as comrades in arms. You know, it does build a certain, camaraderie, a certain team, it's a certain teamwork if you save your city from absolute destruction by an attack of demons and zombies. But someone among the populace has taken a darker turn. An unidentified serial killer, known by the moniker the Rose Street Killer, has been systematically slaying the city's freed populace. After nearly a dozen victims, the city's guards still have no idea who the killer is, even after questioning scores of witnesses and suspects. The killer remains at large. One of the killer's most recent targets was a man called Nephurhin Zor. He was a former Scriptorian slave who had joined the Pathfinder Society after the siege. Now, normally the society leaves the governing and crime fighting to the city guards, but this tragedy struck particularly close to home. So venture captain Ambrose Valsim is furious that a Pathfinder's gone missing because of this criminal, and he's assembling a team of crack agents to help him solve the case. He's looking for talent with a very particular set of skills. That's where you guys come in.
That's us.
Basically,
God.
We're crack agents.
Exactly. So, in various ways, whether or not you're actually affiliated with the Pathfinder Society, or maybe you've done something recently that caught the eye of a Pathfinder like scout, like a talent seeker, you guys all receive letters from Captain Ambrose Valsim, basically asking you guys, like, come down to the lodge, like, we need to talk to you about a job that we have. So he gives everybody a little bit of information about what's going on. So I will post that. Also, it will be a different. I'll just copy it over. So can you guys see that handout number 1?
Where are we looking?
It should be.
I see Josh is typing.
Yeah, so it should be on the screen somewhere. Oh, hang on. Let me just. You zoomed into where I can see where you can see now. Or you guys not see anything?
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at the city.
Okay, but you don't see anything else on that screen.
Just the 2 characters at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. There should be a handout. Oh, hang on. How about
Oh,
now?
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So you guys get this handout. So Captain Ambrose Valseem says the circumstances surrounding the recent disappearances have me convinced that the fault lies not with some Rose Street killer, but with the Band of the Palm. That flimsy front for the despicable collection of villainy known as the Bloody Barbers. And so he's asking you guys to come in and see him for more detail.
Okay, so I think, as kind of a backstory, I think Luther doesn't necessarily live in the city, but a different job brought him here, and maybe this venture Captain Ambrose like saw him complete the job, or was like, like adjacent to the job in some way, and saw how efficiently Luther was able to, and it was a vampire. It's always vampires. Was able to see how well he was able to dispatch this specific foe, and then the way he did it, and maybe that's why he ended up reaching out to him to see if he could help. But Luther, is there any sort of role I could do to see if I would know about this, or would I just know about this Band of the Palm or this Bloody Barbers?
Well, that's a good question.
Not to say that I'm not going to go and do this because it's the
What
start of the
kind
campaign.
of skill do you think it would be?
I don't know. If it's
I was gonna say, do you
associated
have
with
anything that you can-
vampire, like it's gonna be, I would imagine like a lore or society check, maybe
Yeah.
occultism. Like I have occultism. It just depends on what kind of group it is. Religion,
thing is-
society, or like a lore vampire. If it's a vampiric group, like I don't know,
Okay. Yeah, so there's options here, but like anything that you think you could apply, I would let you roll if you wanted to. So
Okay.
if you want to try society check, or if you have underworld lore.
I don't have underworld lore. I've got legal and
I don't know.
vampire.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
mean-
all. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I mean, like, vampire's kind of close to underworld. I would probably let you roll it, maybe with a penalty, but
I guess
But,
it's the same as my society, so I'll roll, and it's a
I
+4
guess-
either way.
let me pull up some music since we're playing.
Oh, that's a good point. Are you gonna do the in Discord thing?
Yeah, we'll just have to do YouTube.
Everybody join that activity. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom,
Okay.
ba-doom. I'll go ahead and make that roll. I'm gonna roll it as just society, I think. And again, the rolls are the same. It's just D20 plus my bonus, right?
Yep.
Okay. I rolled a fucking natural 20.
Wow.
My first roll of the game, natural 20. It was the Siri die, so it's a little Siri symbol here. And so that's a 24 total.
Okay. Well, another cool thing about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, if
Mhm.
you beat a DC by more than 10, that counts as a critical success. So
Okay.
it counts as 2 successes, essentially. So you rolled quite well. Yeah, I mean, I think you would have a decent amount of information.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would come into this knowing this beforehand, before they even, as soon as he mentions the Bloody Barbers, you would know that, like, you've heard the Bloody Barbers before.
Okay.
Supposedly, they're like a gang of killers, murderers, like, thieves, like, vagabonds, like they're bad folk. But they operate like barber shops throughout the city. Like they pretend like they're, upstanding citizens, and they cut people's hair, and they,
interesting.
they run these barber shops, and you know that there's one of them and it's not far from like where you guys are planning on meeting, in the Docks district, just south of a place called the Coins. So you like know the location of where one of these barbershops where you think that these guys would be. But that's just knowledge that your character just comes in knowing already. Just mentioning the bloody barbers.
Okay, so a band of killers isn't exactly the kind of thing that Luther would go for right off the rip, but he's at least intrigued. You know, he knows of the Pathfinders, knows they probably pay decently well, and at the end of the day, he is a good guy, so if he can help in some way, he probably will. It's maybe not necessarily a normal thing, but he'll go.
Okay. Let's see what else. Still trying to get. I don't know. I've got like 2 character portraits that are working here, and I don't know why. But yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. So that's the idea. Is he's trying to get you guys all to come. So if anybody else has an idea of like what you think your character was doing when you got this notification, that you want to talk about it, you certainly can. So, or we can fast forward to all of you guys kind of meeting. I imagine you all kind of walking in at the same time for this mission.
I think Kirby was performing in the Puddles district when
Okay.
a guard walked by and he tried to use sleight of hand to steal from him, and instead he was caught by the guard and brought to this headquarters location. Where we're...
The guy's like, I don't think so. I think you're gonna be helping out the Pathfinders, doing a little community service.
Yeah.
Gotta put in your 80 hours.
Service.
Community service.
I imagine the dungeons in Absalon are pretty extensive, so
Uh-huh,
I'd say
yeah.
community service was probably the right deal to take.
Austin, can you send me Justin's character picture again?
Yes.
I think you sent it to me at some point today, but I can't find it.
Justin would have sent it to you because I didn't send anybody's.
Yeah, I didn't know that he needed me to do that. I will do that right now.
As long as one of you can send it, that's fine.
You have it, Justin. I
Trying
have
to
it
get
if you
everybody
don't.
on there.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. So.
Beat you to
Alright.
it. You're good.
Well, you're a dick.
I'm fast.
Yeah,
Speed.
facts.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Dolphin.
Um.
That's my spirit animal.
So
Dude, look at that fucking
Boys.
group of people. Out of curiosity, is there size categories for characters?
I'm small.
Always.
Wow, you are small. Okay, cool.
Probably.
It's Control G to add a grid, although on this map it doesn't make much sense, but just as an FYI. So sick. Look at that
I
group.
think Elnat, he would probably be in one of the shrines within Absalom, doing his daily thanking of was it Angar, I think?
Angrad.
Angrad, yes. Giving his daily thanks to Angrad, the deity he follows. When he overheard, he had seen this call go out for some help on this, and he would have asked around a little bit, what people heard about the Rose Street killer, and also of these bloody barbers. They sound like some of these people need to hear some of the good news and the good word of Angrad. So he's gonna go and try and help.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say probably in a similar vein, Karu is probably off doing his own thing, probably feeling the tremors of some other planar rift, and was just in Absalon for other reasons, and learned of these happenings, and came to them and was telling them about what he was feeling, and they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we actually need people," and so it was more of a, him going to them rather than them finding him out. So he
Yeah.
just sort of feels these things.
Kicks.
Oh yeah.
Is
Like, monkeys.
Karu? Is he medium sized also?
Yes, he is medium sized, probably about
Where-
5 foot.
Is there like a place where I would see that? Or does it just say it in the
presumably, yeah.
is it ancestry? Oh, size medium. Yeah, your ancestry. You should
You go
see
to
it.
Yeah.
ancestry, it
Some
tells you your
size
size.
But actually,
Sit.
I look smaller just because I'm a bit hunched over. You know, I don't stand up straight.
That's fair.
He only posed like this for pictures.
That's right. Okay. Well, yeah. So one way or another, like you guys all end up coming into the Pathfinder's lodge in Absalom. Huge building. I want to say it's like I can't think of the name of it right now. I want to say it's like the Lion's Head Lodge, in Absalom. But it's just like this absolutely like
What district is
magnificent
that?
building. I don't know off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've looked it up. But so the Pathfinders, for those of you who don't know, are like explorers. Like their goal, like the tenets of Pathfinders, are to go out, explore the world, find magical artifacts, help people where you can, discover new civilizations. You know, it's like they're explorers. Like they're supposed to be a very altruistic guild organization dedicated to helping people. So like crime fighting doesn't always necessarily fall into their purview. That's why why it's this thing's happening because Pathfinders have been targeted. So they're taking a personal interest in this, right? Like they're saying, okay, city guards had their chance to figure this out. Now the Pathfinders are going to come do it. So Adventure Captain Ambrose Valcine is a seasoned veteran of many battles, and he's a Absalom native. He was involved in the conflict last year. He was in battles long before that. It's like, probably when some of you were still young. Like he's a seasoned veteran, and so
I mean, this guy's probably young compared to me. I'm 125.
that could be true. He's
Yeah,
human.
fair.
So I mean, there's a species gap there. There's a race gap, but
God, I don't know how
that's
old
okay.
my guy is.
It's so you guys come in here and come in to talk to him, and he's kind of just sitting behind the counter. You're sitting behind a table, and he's got an assistant there, and she kind of makes herself scarce when you guys come in, and he flicks like some piece of dust off of his impeccably pressed, cuffed shirt, and he says, "Thank you for arriving together. I don't like to repeat myself. I trust you've received my note, and I hope you have your wits about you. It's all well and good for everyone in the city to be concocting their own thrilling hypothesis about some serial murderer, but us Pathfinders, we gotta be a bit more evidence-based. To that end, I want you four to find some low-ranking members of the Bloody Barbers and press them for information. I suspect their straight razors are ultimately to blame for these disappearances." And then he thinks for a second, and then he's kind of like, "Well," and he kind of strokes his mustache. "I should need to tell you to be careful when dealing with one of Absalom's largest thieves' guilds. But do try to avoid the old crimson shave," and he draws his thumb across his neck for emphasis.
Shouldn't be
Do
a
you have any
problem
questions
for
for me? Good. I'm glad to see you're prepared.
Yes. Question that I have: what makes you think that it is the Bloody Barbers versus the Rose Street Killers? Like, do you have actual evidence, or is this mostly just a hunch?
Well, I mean, he says, it's when something happens around Absalom and somebody ends up dead, more than likely the Bloody Barbers had a hand in it. And he's like, several of the last dozen mysterious murder sprees in Absalom have eventually been leaked back to this guild. Their corrupt roots touch nearly every aspect of Absalom life, and I want them gone.
But
Understandable.
they're the only ones that have been sloppy enough to been caught.
Perhaps.
Or we could be looking for someone more devious.
Perhaps.
I think Luther's kind of staying back a little bit. Not quite sure of everyone yet. And he doesn't need to stay in the dark. but there's always something kind of itching where he kind of prefers to be in the dark with like the Dampier heritage, I think.
Mhm.
But he kind of pipes up now. He's like, "Oh God, I don't have a voice for Luther." Let's see.
Samuel L. Jackson. The
Yeah, I don't.
motherfucker-
If I can do that one. Let's see. I was kind
Yeah,
of
I think
picturing
my-
more of like a posh British type thing.
Yeah, my
I
throat
can't
was a
even-
little too wet for me to do my voice. My voice is
can't-
more of a.
I can't really. Well, where do you think they might be? Where do you think these low-ranking thugs might be?
As well. One thing you'll find out is that Pathfinders often have to rely on one another for help. I would start by comparing notes. You probably already know more than you realize.
Well, I know that we could start. Oh God, so bad. Well, I know that we could start with the barber shops, but that seems a little bit too obvious. Nothing you can give us. It's like I'm familiar with the city, but I don't necessarily live here. God, I hate it. Ooh, God. Really should have worked on that. That's
Oh,
okay.
In your downtime.
That's great. It's great.
Kirby walks up and says,
Does he walk or hop?
hops
Okay.
up and says,
Racist.
Mr. Captain Ambrose, I was given community service. This seems
Oh.
a bit outside the normal realms.
Elnat will kind of walk over and kind of put his hand over on his shoulder, be like, "Some of us stray far away from the light occasionally. It'll be okay."
Excellent.
Oh,
I mean, he's just
okay.
like, well, this is kind of an all hands on deck situation. Kirby, my best recommendation for you is to stay near the back of the pack.
Oh,
I mean, the Bloody Barbers are the most dangerous thieves guild in all of Absalom, but I'm sure you'll be fine.
I've never been to a barber.
Oh,
Fair.
it's very valid. Very valid.
I have a quick question for clarification. The victims, are they just missing, or is it that they will go missing and then they turn up dead?
He says, well, the Pathfinder that we lost recently has only been announced missing, but yes, there have been bodies that have turned up that the city guard has investigated.
Bodies? How many?
It's been killing a lot, sounds like.
There's been a string of murders, a dozen or so victims, so to be believed, if you listen to all the rumors.
It kind of quite sounds like this might be one of those fake news situations, yeah?
Ah.
He goes, well, as
Does
Pathfinders,
he hiccup?
Yeah, he does. He's
Okay.
been drinking, obviously.
He's been drinking.
No,
Alright.
He's like, as Pathfinders,
Fucking
we
kill
try
him.
to find the truth, be hidden behind the rumors.
Alright then, well, I guess I'll get to it. And he just kind of leaves. Not really used to working in a group. Luther kind of does things by himself, so he walks out the door. And just
Is there
starts
any
heading towards a
particular-
barber shop. No, we don't know where
I-
we're going. We're supposed to compare notes with each other to figure out where we're going, but I think
start
Luther just kind of
hopping along behind Luther because he seems competent.
The-
He at least seems confident.
Yep.
Confident too.
Which is Sometimes
the
you can
last
mix the two up.
question that I have is there any district where they are, like, is it happening in just random districts, or is it all in one specific one?
He says, our information does point to one location, perhaps. And he's like, but I want to make sure that we have evidence before accusing anyone in particular of these crimes. He's like, but the murders have been localized around a specific area.
I'm just
I
thinking
definitely have.
if they're in that certain area, then that's where we should probably start our investigation.
He says, yeah, we're not sending you straight into the thick of it to begin with. And he's like, I would suggest that you go and poke around the barber's lair first to see if you get any clues.
Okay.
I might be able to prod their minds.
Yeah, would I know enough
What a
about the
wrong thing
city?
to say.
would I know enough about the city to go towards the nearest like barbershop or like hideout where I think they are? Like, is that something that I would know?
You could
given
head
my
to, like I
given
said,
my 24 earlier, I feel like I would maybe know
yeah,
maybe
for
where
sure.
they kind of chill.
My backstory is I'm an Absalom local, not
Okay.
celebrity, but
Nice.
want to be a celebrity,
uh-huh.
an influencer almost.
Like
There
a
you go.
SoundCloud rapper.
A SoundCloud, yeah, I'm
The
basically
SoundCloud rapper or like an
Absalom
Instagram influencer, you know? Could go either way.
Yeah,
Yeah, one slightly better than the other.
Yeah, I mean, so other people are definitely able to at this point make checks if you want, like you said. Some options might be,
What-
um,
me and Luther are on the street, right? What do we see around us?
yeah, I mean, like if you guys go walk out on the streets, yeah, like Absalom Station is constantly busy, so there's people going back and forth, merchants heading to, you know, a district to sell their wares. Like there are, you know, businessmen and like there's like shopkeepers and such that are like trying to get to work. It's probably relatively early in the day, kind of when he called you in, kind of like start the day off type thing. You guys are, like I said, there's different options for like making checks, and anything that you guys can think of that you want to try could theoretically work. So, you know, if you wanted to, I mean, like obviously like things like diplomacy to gather information and society to recall knowledge, like those are, you know, like obviously options that you have. But like you could probably use deception or intimidate or lore skill, religion, even like to find different venues that you could try to get a better idea of where to go next.
I would like to look around the area and see if there's any merchants that specialize in metal, like crafts.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that there are like what are they called?
Metal crafts.
Well, I mean blacksmiths obviously, but
Yeah,
there's specific names for people that like make like hinges and like stuff like, you know, hinges and bolts and hammers and nails and like that type of thing. I can't think of it, but yeah, I mean there's some craftsmen about. What are you looking for?
Someone that's actively working on some metal instruments.
Ah,
Okay.
making their
Okay.
blades.
I could probably
That's
talk
probably
to them
really
really
up your line.
really well, since that's because so the deity that I worship, he's the forge god.
Mhm.
So dealing with things like that, like those are my people.
Okay. So we'll say that there's a blacksmith nearby, a dwarf with jet black hair all over, who looks maybe a little older. You know, he looks like he could, you know, he should be graying maybe, but plying the trade keeps his beard, you know, full of soot and dark materials. So he's sitting over there like plying his trade right now. He's currently like working on something.
Get
Elnat will,
Elnat's attention and
yeah.
attempt to hop over with him to this
Yeah.
blacksmith.
Cool. So yeah, Elnat will walk up and, hello, good sir. Looks like you're doing some very good work there. What
Hey.
is he? Can I see what specifically it is that he's working on?
What it is? What's
Yeah, we'll say right now he's just like smelting some iron for his next job. So he's got like, you know, he's got like a forge, he's got it cranked up to a high heat. He's got a crucible in there, and he's got like little ingots like in the bucket that are like currently melting.
Hell yeah. What is it that you're working on? Well, what are you working on here?
And he's like, some base iron doorknobs.
Ah, very handy indeed.
I like to be able to get in and out.
It's a very important thing to be able to do.
Aye. The name's Griff.
Mine is Elnat. Elnat Large Hand.
And I'm Kirby.
Oh, I almost didn't even see you there. And he like leans over the edge of the, like what he's working on.
I raised a webbed hand and say, hello.
Well, it is
a pleasure to meet you, Kirby. And he shakes your hand. What
I-
brings you to my stand here in the middle of the street?
Well, I always like to check out the forges and see what my fellow smiths are working on, and see if there's any good projects that need an extra set of hands. And I believe my companion is okay, Kirby. I couldn't remember. I couldn't hear if it was Kirby or Kirby. So
Yep.
No,
my
I think-
companion Kirby here seemed very interested in it as well, and I figured I would come over and help break the ice a little bit.
Well, consider the ice broken. Ha 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 ha.
Mr. Griff,
Uh-huh.
do you know who forges the barber blades here in town?
Oh. Interesting train of thought there, Kirby. It's like, yeah. He's like, well, he's like, I'm sure they go through a number of wholesalers and resellers, that type of thing. But I probably have some connections that could find out the information that you're asking for. It's like, is there a particular reason that you want to know?
That's the stuff, Austin. I give a sideways look at Elnat, like, should we share this reason with this stranger? What does Elnat do with me?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Elnat is Let me see. There's not really there's not an insight in this.
There should be
There's
Like a sense motive type thing.
What if I did society, since it's kind of the kind of people that I typically would be around, to see if maybe I can judge if he would be okay to be like, hey, yeah, we're investigating these murders or anything, like if I pick up any weird vibes off of him.
Okay.
If society doesn't work, that's totally fine. Just let me know
No,
what.
there is a sense motive check. It is a perception check.
Okay.
So you guys would, so you would tell me what your perception bonus is, and then I would roll this result in secret, so you wouldn't know for sure if you succeeded or not.
Gotcha.
Mine is +6.
Mine is a
Okay.
+5.
Right.
I will say, Luther, can I roll a perception check for the area around us? Like, if we're sitting here questioning this guy about barbershop stuff, Luther's not paying attention to what the answers are, but he wants to be checking out the area around him and seeing if anybody seems to be paying too much
Luther
attention.
has climbed up to the top of the building and is crouching like a gargoyle, man.
Exactly. Nope, he's blending in. He's a Dampier, but like a half. The Dampiers don't necessarily stick out unless they open their mouth and start talking. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you mean I don't roll a perception?
If you're doing the same thing they're doing, you wouldn't. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not doing perception to look at one specific person,
Right.
but more just observe an area. So I don't know.
Let me look at skills. I don't even know actually if.
Let me look at perception
counts
and
as
see.
skill.
Perception measures your ability to be aware of the environment. Every creature has perception, which works with as limited creature senses. Whenever you need to attempt a check based on your awareness, you'll attempt a perception check. Your perception uses your wisdom modifier.
That's fine. You can do a regular check.
Okay. I got a 19 total perception.
Okay.
So just looking out for anyone that seems to be, maybe paying too much attention to the conversation that they have.
Yeah. So I'll say we'll start with the other guys that were talking to him, then we'll come back to you. So the two of you, Kirby is maybe Kirby, I think is just
just ask. He's asking Elnat because he thinks that Elnat might have some insight onto what's going on here, and Elnat recognizes this guy as a fellow dwarf, a fellow smith, a pretty upstanding citizen, craftsman. He's got no reason to stick his neck out for any criminal elements. He
Yeah.
seems like a trustworthy guy.
Okay.
So you think you can trust him. And then as for what Luther is trying to do, Luther looks around. He's like trying to see if anybody is paying any special attention, and he does notice maybe a kind of like it's a very young boy, but very like scruffy looking. Like he's not
He lives on the
well
streets.
to do.
Yeah.
Lives on the streets a little bit. He's got just like cloth wrappings on his hands and his feet, and he's just kind of like he hears like straight razors get brought up, and just like stops what he's doing and kind of acts like he's standing in line for this blacksmith.
Okay. I would watch the kid, but I don't know if I need to roll a stealth check for this. But I don't want I assume as a like a bounty hunter and someone, like I've dealt with these kinds of kids before, like I don't want to like stare at them and spook them and have them run. So watch him, but watch him in a way that he doesn't notice that I'm watching him. But if he leaves, try to follow a decent distance behind to see if I can tell where he's going.
Okay.
And I don't know. Would I know with Kaoru as a psychic? Can he like read minds or anything like that? Would there be any way for me to quietly? Because I know that Elnat and Kirky are kind of talking to this guy. Is there any way for me to like kind of silently let Kaoru know that I have noticed this kid?
Yeah, so I would say like you guys are less part of the scene. So if you want to go grab him and talk to him, you can.
Yeah, we're more in the back. Yeah.
But if you want to,
but can I do that like
try
stealthily and not let the kid know that I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
going over and
yeah.
talking to him? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But then if you want to try and get back into the scene, like and follow him potentially, then that would be when you'd probably roll a stealth
Okay.
check. And I think that's also a secret check, so I think I get to roll that one too.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And you might also know as a low level psychic that reading minds is a higher level spell.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't know if I could like give you like a mental nudge, like look this way type of thing. But okay, cool, that works. Okay, so yeah, Luther would go over and be like, "That kid there, fuck, I'm going Irish now."
What's that?
Just think of Oliver.
No, because Oliver has a fucking American accent.
Very much so.
Fucking Quid. That's all I can think of right now.
Oh, you're
That's-
getting closer.
That kid over there.
Oranges, rucksack,
That
garage.
that child over there. He's watching us. Keep your
Harry
eyes open.
Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Keep your eyes open. That kid over there is watching us. And then I just kind of just keep your eyes open. That kid over there is watching us. And then I kind of just separate myself from Kaoru, and I'm just watching. And if the kid does try to leave or walk away, I'm in my best stealth gonna try to follow. And I know you said it's a secret check. I have a +6 to stealth.
Very nice.
And let me just take a quick second here and make sure. I know there's not a lot of things for me to do yet, but let me make sure there's nothing that helps. I guess I'll wait till he leaves. If he leaves, then let me know.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
I
let you
feel
know.
like experienced tracker could possibly help in this scenario too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so those of you guys that are having this conversation here, do you go ahead and tell him why you're asking about these?
Yeah, I'll kind of motion for him to kind of lean in a little bit closer, because I don't want bringing up murders in public can cause people to get a little spooked and stuff like that, just because of it's a scary thing. Life is so uncertain. So I'll kind of motion him in a little bit closer and kind of like I guess under the breath is the best way I can describe it. Is just kind of be like, well, we're investigating the murders of the disappearance and murders of some people, and this is the lead that we've been told that we need to try to pursue. So that is why we're investigating this.
I blurt out as he's doing that community service.
Lauren, do it for
Yeah,
you.
can you sign my sheet? And he'd be logging my hours.
It's the first, yeah, it's the
Boy,
first signature on your sheet. You only need 10. Yeah. So you're very brave for taking on the barbers. This guy's sick too.
We never said anything about the barbers.
Oh no.
He hears a voice in his head.
Oh no. No, but he's like, you're very brave to be trying to track this type of information down. He's like, I do know that there are certain blacksmiths that the barbers use to try and maintain a certain level of secrecy. It's like, he's like, I could probably point you in the right direction to like the nearest merchant who would deal with them. He's like, but I have to ask, is this worth your life? And he looks directly at Kirby.
Hey man, I just want to finish my community service.
Oh god. He's like, well, you are a good citizen. As far as I can tell, they'd never be able to find you again. I mean, a walking, talking frog? An Absalom
One
of
of a
all
kind.
places? One of a kind.
You can't just call someone a frog. What the fuck?
What the fuck? You
What
just said
the-
the F word.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is a frog?
Yeah.
What
Uh,
are frog?
What is a
What is a
raccoon?
frog? The hell is a frog?
I'm a Gripply. Believe it or not.
Oh no.
Grippleys, believe it or not.
But yeah, no, that's definitely a really decent like a clue towards what you guys are looking for. Like he can point you towards, especially because the presence of Black Barber, or, any of these guys, like hurts Bloody Barbers, I guess, hurts other merchants in that area. If they're selling illicit goods, stolen goods, they're selling them at, trying to undercut fair merchant prices. So like his merchant friends probably have suffered from, and he'll point you again towards like the coins districts, like more south of town. Like it's like, yeah, he's like, I know that there's obviously a safe haven for them somewhere down that way. Because we've seen more criminal activity down that way, more sales of these things, and they buy, like you said, they have to buy their razor somewhere. So
Cool.
Sick.
so
I will thank him, and I'll leave with that
I'll leave you with this.
That's what I'm looking for. I'll leave him and wish him Ingrad's blessings on his upcoming projects that he's going to be working on.
Nice.
And if he needs anything, go to any of the. I know what I looked up on Absalom was that there's not very many temples like devoted for Ingrad, but I feel like there's got to be at least one that I'll tell him that he can, if he ever needs me to go to the Temple of Ingrad and ask for me, and someone will get a hold of me.
I tell
Swell.
him, if you see Venture Captain Ambrose, tell him I talked to you.
of course, there, little friend. No, he's like, both of you, take something for the road. And he reaches down underneath his table and he hands you both a single iron doorknob.
hell yeah.
Griff
Never know when you're gonna need an iron
Little
doorknob.
do you know, it's like a level 100 item that you could just attach to any door and it opens it regardless of locks.
I put it in my backpack.
Okay.
And
That's
I
worth at least 2 copper pieces. Shit. Nice. I should have talked to him.
He's like, these are well made doorknobs. Who said that?
I said that under my breath.
I say, thank you, Mr. Griff, and start hopping away. Not towards, crap, I forget your guys' character names. My bad.
Luthor.
Luther.
Everyone,
learns.
if you, yeah, you can look at Discord now. Everyone should have theirs, besides you, but that's okay. You figure it out later.
Luther and Karu.
Karu.
Every time.
Not Toru.
Karu.
Luther.
Karu. The roof is on fire.
Ah!
I think I have a general understanding of where the coins district is at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys would have a pretty good idea. Like both of you guys have been pointed in that direction. So it's probably I don't know distance wise how far it is from where you guys are
Does
at right now.
this kid do anything when they kind of leave and walk away?
Good point. I kind of forgot about the kid.
I've been waiting patiently.
So yeah, I think when he sees the conversation is wrapping up, he's gonna like try and hastily like hustle out of the courtyard.
And it does seem like he's kind of being hastily with it, like just like casually walking away, like he's going somewhere with a mission.
For sure.
Okay. I for sure follow. I don't know if Karu does. I don't know what kind of stealth Karu has, but it might be more beneficial for you to stay behind and let everyone else know what's kind of going on. We don't really have a working relationship yet, though, so I don't know how everyone would react. But, well said, Blade. Luther is definitely going to follow, like, closely, not closely behind. You know, like at a distance. You know in the video game missions where you got to, like, keep your distance but can't let them get too far away type of thing? That's definitely what he's going through right now. Mostly considering he is wearing basically a Assassin's Creed type outfit right now with the red and white and the so.
I say he's like barely bumping into people.
Dude,
and
that
like,
would actually
slowly
be
adjusting them.
a sick. What's the character's name? in the
Altair?
original? Yeah,
Altair.
that'd be a sick character concept for a game like this. Like
I've
hidden
played him.
blades and shit like that. Like that'd be dope. And 2E?
Yeah, me, myself, and a friend, not in 2E. And
Wow.
Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, we both made Assassin's Creed characters, and I died falling off a building.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told us about that.
You have to play
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed character, but you have to play it as what Kirby is, so you can have to not die off all buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
And a fucking assassin frog, dude, that's amazing.
This is what happens.
This
This
is
is what
excellent stealth
fans-
music.
I said this is what plays inside Luther's head as he's following this guy.
I just watched the scene, man. I mean, it's the opening scene, but it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
Bloodbath.
So yeah, so I mean you're following this guy,
Yeah.
and you, like you said,
And with the
Keep your
goal,
distance.
because we don't know exactly where this hideout is, the goal is to find where he ends up and not pursue it any farther, and then regroup.
so you guys see Luther leave. What do you guys do? Or maybe you don't.
Luther,
see him leave, 'cause he's just
Luther,
gone.
where are you going?
I'm going to I'm gonna cut my hands over my mouth.
Oh, I thought you said
And,
cut to your hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna cup them like I'm covering my mouth, and
Okay.
I'm casting message to. I'm gonna do it to
You cover your mouth so no one can see you
Elnats.
casting it.
yeah
No one wants to talk to
Elnats.
Kirby.
So you
You're just here for
Uh,
community service.
yeah, we know that you're not fully in it yet. Yeah, you're still just getting signatures. But no, I cast message, and Elnat hears in like the back of his head. We spotted a kid. We're gonna follow him this way. And so I'm kind of away from you, but I kind of whisper in your ear to follow me and Luther. And to tell Kirby.
Stay real fucking far back.
Yes.
Why don't you make a perception check?
Who's we? Or you?
Karu.
Okay.
Okay. Good. My first roll of the night.
First roll of the game.
First roll of the game. All right.
I rolled a fucking nat 20.
Nat 2. For a
Hey, that's
Ooh.
almost there. That's like only one number off.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you lose Luther. You see him disappear, and and you turn towards the guys to
Yeah,
inform them
let
what's
them
going
know.
on,
Yep.
and then you go around the corner and he's just gone.
Shit.
But you
Can I
do know
roll it?
generally he was heading south.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, I
and
still
now,
have
like,
the
you got
other
a little
guys.
bit of information, yeah, about where you might be headed next. So
Okay. Well, I at least regroup with those guys, and then head south, I guess.
all right, yeah, and if everybody's okay with that, we'll just keep on moving on. Yeah, I think Luther is going to follow this guy, and this guy, every once in a while will look back, and Luther just opens up a newspaper, and just like continues going. But he does a pretty good. It seems like he does a good job of blending in. The guy doesn't ever stop or confront him about it. The guy just keeps moving.
Stays in
this-
groups of at least 3 or on a
Yeah,
bench or.
exactly.
Okay.
Gots to. And eventually, you will arrive kind of at this rundown barbershop in the Docks district, just south of the coins. So like this small barbershop, kind of unassuming, has these 4 worn barber's chairs and a wooden bench for waiting outside. You kind of get this whiff of these astringent odors, different hair tonics, combining that with that of talcum powder to produce a potent aroma. It's quite noticeable that this is a barbershop. It's probably pretty normal. I mean, there's tanneries smell terrible, like barbershops smells like, like any medicine, like, like plague doctors and stuff that you'd go to, like all smell like, you recognize this as a barbershop right away. There's a large tarnished mirror running the full length of one wall with a low shelf underneath it that holds an assortment of combs, razors, scissors, and jars that have murky liquids in them. The shop is almost empty. It's pretty quiet enough to hear the snip of the single barber's scissors as she works on a large man's wild hair. And this boy steps in and immediately starts sweeping up the hair clippings. And you hear her say out loud, "Snips! Is that you? You're late!"
Chris made a lot of that, but also we might change
Okay.
the music now.
That's fair. We'll go back to what we were doing before.
Okay.
A little better.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have
put-
barbershop music?
Chris
Turn it
didn't.
up.
Chris
Perhaps
didn't
one
like
quartet?
whatever voice you just did there.
I was gonna say, "Snips! Is that you? You're late again!" I turned it off this time.
Yeah, you're good.
So,
But
so
I'm,
she,
I'm
like, addresses him
outside hearing
as
this.
Snips. You're outside. It's just. I mean, it's just open air. Like, the windows are open and stuff, and this guy ducks inside, and you're just like you are like
Like
a
on the
flash,
edge.
like
Yeah.
just usually like across the street. Like there's
Yeah.
like maybe a wagon going by, and like you're like look like you're like standing in an alleyway, like in a shadow. So like he did see you.
Do I think that he saw me earlier, like associated with the group?
You don't think so? No.
Okay. So after I hear them say this, I walk in.
Okay.
And do they say anything to me?
Sure. Yeah. So you walk in. She's like, "Just gonna be another minute, honey." She looks at you and she's like, "Military cut. You like it short?"
That would be quite fine, yes.
Good.
And I'm just perception checking out the ass here, but as
Okay.
stealthily as I can. And I don't know. I like perception. I don't really know exactly how it would work. I don't know how it would work in any game, but with the idea with the things that I see, I'm trying to relate them back to, this group, whether that's like a religion thing or like a society thing or like a lore thing. So if I notice anything, I guess I could roll on the thing that I notice that seems out of place. But really, just looking for more information here. And if I happen to see, because like as I'm crossing the road, that's my intention, is to go inside the thing. So as I'm crossing the road, I think I would turn around, and if I would see Karu, Elnat, or Kirby, I would kind of give him a hand, like, like stay back, like a slight hand, like very subtle, like, stay back, stay over here, be ready for anything, but like let me be the one to go because they didn't notice me initially.
Sure. Yeah. So I think it'll probably be a few minutes or like a minute or two before they
Yeah.
show up if they can find you.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Um,
no, exactly, yeah.
As soon as I get the ability to cast a mind link or anything like that, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, that's
for
fair.
sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so you guys, so you go kind of go in there. So what you can do is like you have the option if you're talking to her and trying to like make an impression, you can do that diplomacy check. It's a make the impression roll to try and improve her attitude towards you. So she might give you some information. Or if
Okay.
you just want to look around, you can definitely just look around. Just do a perception check, whatever sounds good to you.
I think for now, because I don't really know what I'm looking for exactly, I think a perception check is kind of a good overall check. I'm going to roll my... I think it's... Justin, you got me the cool, like, almost like colorful clay looking set, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me put this on the stream here real quick. Nice color. I think I brought this over because I saw some of my cousins that I don't see but every couple of years the other day, and one of the girls said that she played D&D a couple times, so I brought my dice over to be a nerd. I'm like, I brought my nerd stuff. And at first they're like, I thought that was like a real gem there for a second. I'm like, nah, that would be like a $500 set of dice. Not quite.
You can get them. They're cool.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
quite
they're
that
cool.
bougie. I was like, the metal ones are the
Another
most
ruby
expensive
set.
and they're heavy, so. All right.
Tungsten.
I rolled a fucking
Yeah.
18, bro. I'm on fire tonight. 24 perception.
All right.
Just
So
really,
you're looking
again,
around.
I'm sitting in the front, yeah, just trying to check things out, you know. Maybe paying
Yeah.
special attention to the kid and what he's looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kid looks just like a little nervous that you're there. Okay, he's like doesn't know what to do with the fact that you kind of came in and are looking around.
But he doesn't recognize me still, right? Like,
Right,
that's,
he doesn't know who you are.
Okay.
So that you're just a strange person. You just kind of came in and started kind of looking around the shop. He might be hiding something.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think I mean, with that perception check, like you look around and like you don't see anything in the barber shop that looks criminal. It looks like it's pretty much just her here working, and she's just trying to cut this guy's hair. I said maybe with that good of a check, you would see that there are maybe some sketchier guys hanging out around the building, like in the alleyways and stuff around the building. Like there's maybe a couple people that are paying just like a little bit too much attention to the barbershop and the people that are going in and out of the barbershop.
Okay.
But yeah, I think for the most part, she seems pretty straightforward. She's like finishing up this guy's hair, and she's just like, "Well, are you ready or what? What'd you come in here for?"
Harry
God, it's
Potter.
Harley Quinn.
Harry Potter. Well, yeah, like you said, military cut, nice and short, please. I've got a lot of work I need to do, and keep it short, please. Yeah. I'll pay whatever I need. I sit down and let her take a blade nice and
7
close.
gold pieces.
Ooh,
Yeah. So as yeah, she's gonna charge you more than a suit of full plate armor. But
really
yeah,
good cut.
so she's gonna
Full
usher off.
service haircut.
Yeah, she's gonna usher off the guy whose hair she was cutting, and she's gonna sweep just a little bit of hair off his shoulder onto the ground, and she'll be like, "Snips, what are you doing? You missed one." And he's gonna come over, like stumble forward, try to sweep it up, and she's just gonna kick him right in the back, and like he falls down, and she's like, and she like claps you on the shoulder, and she says, "Ah, I just get a kick out of it." So
That is
did he.
objectively funny.
And
Yeah.
I go
That's a comedy.
I go to the kid. I'm like, "Are you all right, kid?" And I kind of look at her like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
She's like, "Oh, he's fine. He's 11. He can stand up for himself."
Yeah. Oh, all right then. I suppose. And I go, "Kid, you're doing great." And I toss him a silver piece.
Okay. So I think he's gonna take it and just kind of like nod at you, and then kind of get out of the way so you can get your haircut done.
And I look at her and I go, actually, I just realized I do have something to do. I think that I'm gonna have to step away from now. And I just get
She
up
goes,
and
"Oh,
I'm gonna walk away.
well, all right. If you don't need a haircut, that was my last client of the day." It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's like before lunch. She's
Yeah.
like, "That was my last one today." So she's like, "Snips, get on this.
I want to be able to see myself in that mirror. And she's like, and they shut a lock up behind you. And she's just gonna like, before you even leave the building, she's just gonna push her way in front of you and just bail, just get
Okay.
out of there.
I just
And I
wanted
think
to make it
everybody
very
else is
clear
gonna
that I
come
was paying him, but not paying her.
Yeah, I think everybody else is gonna come up around that time, kind of like be walking down the street, kind of looking back and forth to kind of like see if they spot you. And obviously, this lady's being loud, and so they all kind of glance that way, and they see you on the other side of the door. Like, once the door like slides, you know, it's like opened and then shut again. They're gonna see you over there. So, what do the three of you guys want to do?
At what point do they show up during that conversation? I feel like is important.
At the very end,
Yeah,
like
like
as she's
now.
leaving.
Yeah.
As she's leaving. Okay, so they don't see her being a bitch.
No. So if you just like put a knife in the back of her head, they'd probably be really confused.
It'd be really weird. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was clear to everyone.
It'd be super awkward.
It's just like you just stab her and there's like vampire and just like drop her out of the ground. They're just like, what is going on? Oh, but yeah. So it's you alone in the shop with Snips now, the little boy, and then everybody else walks up with this woman just like leaving down the street.
Okay,
but
I'll
you
wait,
just
see what they
glance in
do,
there,
and then move to
And
what
you
I
see
do.
Luther in this barber shop.
Ding ding ding.
Luther. It's got Griffith brand doorknobs.
You like grab the doorknob and you're
Blue.
kind of like, I feel like I have one of these in my backpack.
I feel like this is so similar,
Yeah.
so familiar.
Yeah. You have newfound respect, you know, for those sorts of things. Well, I mean, I don't know what you guys do, but as soon as she leaves, Luther would go, you always let her treat you like that, yeah?
He's like,
Oh my god, is he crying?
I mean, no, I'm fine. She's
Ding
Hey.
ding ding. Yeah, Kairu's
Oh,
out of
shit.
here. Yeah, true emotion. Nah.
too much. Yeah, no, I mean he seems kind of timid at first. Just like I mean she just you know, she's the boss. What can you say? She's like, but she's like, what are you doing here?
And at this time, I kind of like act like, so you said it's like open air. So like these people that are kind of like outside, maybe silently watching that I've kind of noticed, like if I'm talking like at a normal volume, they could potentially hear what we're saying, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like they were like similar to how you were standing across the street.
Okay.
They're kind of just like watching.
But this
there.
time
They're not,
I
like,
did
super close.
notice them. So like, given
Yeah.
the amount of races and magic going on in the city, it wouldn't be crazy for me to think that potentially we're being watched and someone could hear what we're saying.
That's very possible. Yeah.
Okay. So I think at that, I would kind of lean down, like I was helping get some hair from like a spot that he couldn't get, like, you know, try to lean down and try to brush something away, but kind of like lean by him as I'm doing that. And I would say, I go, "Do you know of the bloody boppers?" Like very, very quietly, and like maybe he would even go, maybe he would say instead, he'd say, I saw you watching earlier. What do you know of the bloody boppers? And like as he's leaning down trying to do that, so I would do, I don't know, like another silent stealth roll or whatever, if you want to roll another stealth for me or something, to try to make sure that me and him are the only ones that notice that, and a +6 for my stealth.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, like, I don't necessarily just instantly think that he's a good guy, but usually someone that gets beat on like that and is crying isn't necessarily working for a crime syndicate. You know, they kind of, as far as I would know, they kind of beat that kind of stuff out of you. So,
Yeah.
and I don't mean to take over the
so-
scene again, but I'm,
No, you're fine.
Okay.
So you guys outside see a very suspicious scene. You know, there's like windows, we'll say like your chest height, and you see Luther like ducking down, and the boy like making a surprised expression. No.
what?
I turn to Elnat and say, "Is Luther a pedophile?"
I don't know.
But one thing you'll notice is that none of you can hear what he says to the boy.
It's true.
But,
no, you can.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
we see is Luther just whispering to a little boy.
That's right. Whispering to a little boy in this closed shop. He slowly like turns the sign around to say closed.
But what do you three want to do? Are you guys trying to get caught up to him, or are you guys just now that you've seen him, you're just gonna wait outside until something else happens?
I'd like to observe the area around the barbershop to see if there's any other barbershops or shops open.
Yeah, no, I would say that you're on the northern end of the docks district, south of the coins district. So I'm thinking it's probably like a more poor area. So there's maybe like a one like a one horse bar. Like there's like there's like a really small tavern type thing that's maybe not so reputable. And there's just it's like there's some houses and some buildings around, maybe a few other shops that look to be open this time of day.
Are there any people on the street around us?
Yeah, there's people walking back and forth, wandering around, and even like people in alleyways and stuff.
Yeah, people in alleyways, you say?
Uh-huh.
I would like to approach one of the people in the alleyway.
Okay.
Yeah, does Elnat
I
join me?
know that
Yeah.
you're not a normal sized frog, but in my head, you're literally just like a frog. Like hopping your way to like you're the
Okay.
size of a foot. It's so funny.
I'm like a 3-foot frog,
I
okay?
I know, but it's a lot funnier to think of you as a normal sized frog.
Yeah, I go
Hey
to
buddy, what's going
Diagon Alley.
on? You just like
Uh,
stab their toe with a fucking little toothpick. It's so good.
Yeah, Elnat would definitely come along with. He doesn't want you to. Doesn't want you to have to be out there on your own. So
Because you're
yeah,
small.
definitely will come with.
Okay. And I'll go into the barbershop so that Luther isn't alone in the barbershop with the child.
Perfect.
Yeah, just to square that part of the story away.
Yeah.
All right.
So that way there's witnesses to what Luther's
Right.
doing to this child.
Right. It seems like the right thing to do.
That's fair. So I approach this alley goer with Elnat in tow, and I say to them, "Hello."
Hello.
Do I get their attention?
Yeah, so imagine there's like a man who's just like he's dressed in like a long concealing like coat, and he's wearing like a scarf or a bandana like over his head. And he's like, can I help you?
I'm filling my obligated community service, and I've been tasked. Oh, wait, and I look to Elnat. We've been tasked
Elnat kind of like points. He's like, "I'm his sponsor."
with spreading the good word of what's your god?
Ingrad.
Ingrad. I don't say the what's your god part of Ingrad.
Yeah. I mean, you could. It would make it a little more funny.
Would you like to hear the good word?
Whatever you're selling, I'm not buying.
Well, we're not selling, for it's free.
Oh, joy. All right, get on with it then.
Okay. If you just follow us over to this secluded corner, we'll tell you all about
Wait a minute.
Ingrad and the joys that he can bring you. And we'll even give you one of these finely crafted doorknobs. And I bring the doorknob out of my pocket.
Wait, doorknob's free?
Free doorknob.
It's pretty impressive.
Those are well crafted.
Tis a mighty doorknob indeed.
It's a mighty doorknob indeed. So, well, maybe I'm a little interested on account of the doorknob.
I love a good doorknob, God.
I just kind of like lean down to fucking Kerpit, and like doorknob gets him every time.
Okay, so we'll switch over to the other group. So when Kaoru walks in, what is he seeing happen in here now? He walks in the door of this barber shop.
Well, I mean, he walks in after he sees me lean
Okay,
down
so
and
you
ask the
ask-
question.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I need
you
to
ask- you
know
ask this
what.
kid. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You ask this kid what he knows of the Bloody Barbers. He goes, "You know what? I've heard some things. We should probably talk in a more secluded place. Come on. There's a back door." And he's gonna go.
I would love to come to your
straight for
back
the
door.
Okay.
I'm gonna just lean into it.
Oh God. Well, that's
Alright.
that's after Luther was going for his back door.
Yep. Yep. All right. A lot
You
going on
never
right
go
now.
to a secondary location.
You guys started this. This wasn't my intention here. You started it, but God, I'm gonna lean into it. So
So Karu walks in now. Now you see these two guys walking out the back. Do you say anything? Do you follow, or do you just let them go?
do I notice Karu following us?
I mean, you probably could see him to like walk in the door behind you.
Yeah, I
guys.
mean, if you roll a perception against my sneak,
Yeah, you want to? Let's do it. Is that a thing, Brendan? Can we do that?
Sure.
sounds like a thing.
Sounds like a thing that could happen.
Dude, fucking rocks. Let me know what your perception is, because you have to perceive my stealth. Right?
No,
Or no, wait, I'm rolling perception, you're rolling
you're
stealth.
rolling. Yeah.
Correct.
No.
Okay, I have my number then. It's actually the same number, so.
Nice. Okay. What's your number?
25, I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 19 as well, and mine was a 24. So,
Barely, bitch. So I'm
Karu-
just going through the door and like barely notice you.
yeah.
You're quite
Yeah.
stealthy. I mean, like you moved inside, but like caught the door. You know, like before it hit the bell and like slipped inside real quiet.
But I'm like, that's just me. Like a fucking blade, you know? Like I heard that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and you
is-
had a kid in your sight. You know, you were honed in.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't actually. I'm gonna stop that one pretty quick
It's
here.
a-
Otherwise, I'll
Pedophile
just lean into it and it'll be bad. But I
It'll be
see
real
you
bad.
walk in, and just like I did earlier when you guys couldn't see me because it didn't happen. But like I said, I would. I just kind of put my hand up, like, stop, like,
Put his hand up, like.
and I just go, or just like, maybe I'll put my hand up and like say stop, and then almost give like a sign like watch out, like eyes open, and like point at my eyes and like point at like, in my head, I know you said it's open air, but it's like open air to the alley too in my head. So it's just like watch this whole front of the building, like eyes open type of thing. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Then yeah, I post up in the barber shop alone for whatever reason because I'm
I'd be
alone
curious
in a
if like
barber
you
shop.
have to go to a barbershop. Do they like give you like a full body thing?
I've never been in a barber shop. No.
You never been in a barbershop as an ape too, might I add. Like that's the big thing that I'm talking.
What'd
'cause
you
have-
say? What'd you call me?
You have fur everywhere. A monkey? I'd say monkey seems worse than ape.
It's
I
all
mean-
better.
God, he's hitting us with these racial slurs.
He really
Frog,
is. Just
Monkey.
continuous.
Do you have to get a haircut
Unapologetically, I
everywhere?
might
Is what I'm asking.
They're called simians, you swine.
Oh, okay.
Simmons.
You do. Your character is not an ape. He's a creature with simian features. I read your character. Anyway.
Oh, so now
So
you
you
know
should
my
know
character.
better.
Okay. So anyway, I'm
Alright.
posted up and rolling just passive perceptions just to make sure
Yeah.
that things are chill.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
I'm up to. Well, he goes in the back with that child.
All right, so he takes you out back. You're out back with him, and you've been doing really well with perception checks. So we're just gonna kind of roll over that final check that you make. So you're walking out there with him, and you roll. You walk out there with him, and he immediately starts like sweating a little bit, and you're just like,
Oh,
"What's this
okay.
kid's problem?" And
So,
he's like,
he set me up. Oh, he's trying to whistle. He's trying to whistle.
He's trying to whistle, but he doesn't know how. He's like trying to.
Oh.
He's like trying to
Uh-huh.
whistle, and he's trying to like to make some kind of signal. So what do
So
you want to do?
If I notice
right now?
that, am I still like at the door? Like I'm on the other side of the door? Like could I open the door in like a quick motion?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. You
Okay.
Yeah, like.
If he's trying to whistle and he's sweating like crazy, it's safe to assume that he's trying to signal someone, right? Like that's
Okay.
that's Austin's perception. That would probably be Luther's, right?
That's fair. Yep.
And so I'd open the door and yell, "Karu, help!"
All right.
And loud enough
Okay.
with the hope that maybe Elnat and Kirby hear me yell. I'm open air, not a big street. Maybe they could hear some sort of a yell, maybe not hear the words, but enough to maybe get these people's attention to the point where they get over to me. Is this, what kind of door is this? Are we talking like, is this like a door where like, is it open out towards me or in? Like, could I open it and then stand in front of it and still be in this square, but have it open?
If he told me to hold back, I would definitely be in a position where I could still, you know, perceive him.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
close enough. Yeah, you
No,
can definitely see.
I think it's a double set of doors. I think it's a double set of doors that open out is what I was imagining. So he went out one and you went out the other, kind of.
Okay, the reason I ask is I want to be able to stand in that square and have my back like holding open the door, so that potentially he could get through without an action of like opening the door type of thing.
All right, so you're gonna shout. This guy, you know, is like, "Karu, we need some help," and so some of these guys like out in this back alleyway are gonna turn around and immediately start brandishing knives.
Oh shit.
Is that a? Oh, look at that. Is that a good
That
place to stop?
is-
Probably.
It's probably a decent place to end it for this week. So next week we'll talk about what happens when we roll for
combat
initiative and do all that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Bloody barber.
These guys
Look at
are
all
gonna turn
them.
around and brandish. Yeah, you guys are gonna turn around and brandish daggers, and then hearing a commotion on one street over, this guy that was like, I might be kind of interested in some doorknobs. He's just like, I might be kind of interested in taking your doorknobs. And he's also going to pull out some knives and brandish them directly at Kirby.
Just so you know, we can't see them already in initiative.
Okay.
Which,
or at least 4 of them.
I have a 0 initiative. Is that common? Is that?
I also have a 0 initiative too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so another thing is, so Pathfinder is also kind of allows you to roll skills as initiative. Second edition does. So, like, if you were on
like
alert,
perception could be your
like you were percepting. Yeah,
I think I was pretty on alert if I noticed him. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So so it depends on what you were doing immediately prior to the combat. So we could even probably argue that the other guys over there were trying to have like a conversation, you know. So they might be able to use some their like diplomatic skills or something and roll that into initiative to give you a little bit better of a bonus. But we can talk about that when we get together next time. If you guys are all up for playing next week, we could probably make this
sweet.
Halfway. It's pretty decent session 1, and then I will try to have more stuff ready for next week too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, works for me.
Quality
cool.
sesh.
Beans. Let me hit us with the
I know
outro. Actually, let me hit us with the Discord. Thank you, stream. Till next time.
What?
Oh, he's right there!
Oh!
I got a
He's
photo,
here, he's
I got
here,
a
he's
photo.
here! Crucifix! Crucifix! Fuck off! Fuck off! Get out of here!
Oh, got a picture of it! I got it! Fuck ass!
Oh my god!
Holy
Joseph White does not like Smash Mouth.
Spawning downstairs. Oh, there she is! Oh, dead! Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Him over local comms, and he's like, "What is that thing?" And then dude cut off.
Nice. Nice.
My ears.
Got him.
They're bleeding.
Is that good?
Untruce for a moment. just gotta clear my throat. Hold on. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
You could play that song again. Which one, man? The one that goes.
Oh my god, that's a fucking amazing.
Oh my god.
This nigga with this SPR, who do you think you are, my nigga?
Oh, you lost. It was bad, man.
Shut
Like,
your
what
bitch ass
the
up.
fuck?
That's a L. That's a L.
Like, this nigga spam flash, bro.
Kills an L. Shut your bitch ass up.
Big L, bro. Big L.
I literally follow y'all every time I see y'all. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Your granny's dead.
Those Shadow Carja scum are going to pay for what they did to Ursa.
That was Geralt.